Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another. Well, I can't say another because it's not like we're doing a beer flow show. This is actually just a live stream hangout for National Beer Day, as if we need another day to actually drink beer. But hey, if they give us a day to celebrate, we will celebrate with it. Of course, I am Rod J here, and Eric from Eric and Lions Fan. Welcome, brother.
What's going on, guys?
And then we got Todd as well, who's always a part of the crew here. So welcome, Todd.
What's up? What's up?
So tonight, as it starts to wind down and we get into the grind before Monday, thought we'd throw up a little stream, talk about maybe some beer stuff or whatever comes to mind, or some of the people that always happen to ask about maybe getting on the show or something. We have a couple people pop by, but a couple hours here or so, drink a couple beers, talk about some stuff happening, maybe beer related, maybe not beer related. I know one thing to talk about was the way the game ended last night between Auburn and Virginia, because that was probably the biggest crazy amount of things that ever happened in a Final Four ending since I can ever remember. So,
you think they should have called the double dribble?
Oh, they should have easily called the double dribble. The situation of missing a double dribble, and then coaches like what Bruce Pearl tried to do, committing a foul because you have the fouls to give, so they can't shoot a three or whatever. And then when you try to commit those two fouls, so now the next foul does anything, and then you have a player that was trying to play closeout defense, but got too close. And that's what happens when you have young kids playing ball, and then ends up hitting the three shots. So, which kudos to the guy that made the three free throws for Virginia. But just a whole calamity of stuff. But, yeah, that double dribble gets called. The game's over.
Yeah.
You don't foul. That heave he throws up, probably game's over. Just like stop waiting around there. Charles Barkley is about to go into an aneurysm.
I thought the double dribble call, it should have been called, but I also think the 3-point shot that got called for the foul, I thought that was pretty weak. I mean, my view is referees should not, at that point in the game, swallow your whistle, let stuff happen, unless it's painfully obvious, which, I don't know, to me that was a pretty weak call, so if it were me, I wouldn't have called it, but I don't know. I just thought it was a weak call, and it shouldn't have been called.
Well, yeah, it's always tough when it's in that part of the stage of the game like that. But
yes,
I mean, to the point of it being a foul, it was a foul. You do have to give the space for the guy to land as well,
right?
Too. So
yeah,
the refs missed a call, and they actually, in that case, made the right call. It was just the timing of it made it look a lot worse than it actually was. But exactly, I think it was truly a foul, and even Barkley, who we know, he went to Auburn and he was definitely pulling for his team to win. Even called it a foul, but he was talking about they were so caught up in everything how they might have missed that double dribble as well. But there was a point that was made by one of the other guys today in the NBA game. I forgot who it was. One of the commentators, and it was like, no, you got to make that call. I think it was Mark Jackson saying, you don't miss that. You're a paid professional. That's what you're supposed to be looking at out there. When you're watching them, you're not watching the game, you're watching the players.
The funny thing with that play was I didn't even notice it the first time, and they kept saying he double dribbled. I had to think about it. I was like, where was the double dribble? And then I saw the replay, and it's like the guy said that when they usually go to the what's that, Gene Saratori, whoever his name is.
Yeah.
He said play happened so quick. He's like, normally the ball doesn't. The guy that dribbles or loses it like that usually rolls out of bounds or rolls far enough away where he has to pick it up and just throw it. Where it happened so quick, but he said they thought they all I didn't even catch it either. He just picked it up and started dribbling again. It was like without missing a beat. So, not to say that they should have missed it, but I could see a little bit why they might have missed it because it was such a bang bang play. But still, like you said though, being professionals, you probably shouldn't miss that call.
Well,
right.
The crazy thing is in the final 2 minutes of each half, you can go to instant replay. I don't know if you can go for it to see if you missed a call, though. But I know in the final 2 minutes, things can go to instant replay to take a look at stuff. And you have 3 officials on the floor, right? Don't you have like another one over with the clock maybe or so? And if somebody would have caught that, or maybe if Pearl would have said something or whatever, they would have went back and looked at it. But it seems like there was enough in the building to maybe take a look at it. It was a fast active play, This isn't like the Super Bowl, where there's clearly a pass interference that was missed.
Yeah. Like
Super Bowl, but the game before the Super Bowl. But poor Saints, they had to deal with that.
The thing I thought they were maybe going to miss was they were going to say the foul didn't occur before the shot clock, the game clock expired.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of bang, bang, too, right there at the end,
Yeah. It was a crazy game, but that's college basketball. And say hello to the people in the chat here. 420 in the house says, yo, welcome. He says, little Sebastian before this stream. He says, yo to Todd as well, and yo all.
What's
and
up?
Eric said hello back to him. And Donner Pass Whiskey's in the house. It's Happy National Beer Day. Of course, I'm drinking scotch. So Donner is a whiskey guy. But hey, you know what? Scotch is actually made in bourbon barrels in part of the process. So it's okay that you're drinking scotch. Raiden LaPrae says there isn't always time to get your beer on. For me, there's always time to get your beer on. Although he tried to ask me one time about something like going in before. I don't know if he said like an operation or something. If you're a surgeon, or he said something like, "Well, if you'd have planned it out, you probably could have, but cut it too close. That's on you," as Joe would say. And actually, I just poured the one beer I didn't talk about it, but it's the Sierra Nevada Cerveza. This is their new easy drinking lager. So ended up picking that up the other day.
A lager.
Yeah, I like some lagers. I mean, I like box of lagers, and I like some of the other different styles. It's usually the adjunct lagers, which this one you probably would like, Eric, as well, because it does have the adjunct feel to it. There he goes, the High Life.
Well, I just finished this one, so.
And now you're on to another one?
I'm on to this one came from Average Joe from the Beer Patrol. It's the other half. It's the Laid Back, the Sour Peach India Pale Ale. Comes in at 6%. There's right here, fellas.
I don't know if anybody goes from adjunct more than Eric to craft. But that's all right. And what do you
I can switch it right back to adjunct.
Mm-hmm. Versatile.
No hate in Eric's game. No hate at all. If it's good, he'll drink it. So
no shame in the game.
And what do you got, Todd?
I am drinking Toppling Goliath Pseudo Sue.
Someone else just told me that that's a seasonal, right? Or is that all year?
That's their all year. They also have one. It's called King Sue, which is a seasonal, I believe.
Well, that must just be the timing, because someone else had asked me if I've seen that here yet to try, and I said no, it's around here. I believe at Jungle Gyms maybe, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, we just started getting distro about a month ago, I guess.
Okay. The timing of it made me thought it might be a seasonal or something. So let's see here. Cody's in the house.
It's a great beer if you've never had it.
That's what I hear. That's definitely what I hear about it. Cody Stark says, "Hey guys, I'm brewing a Goza as we speak. Nice thing to make on National Beer Day." And he's drinking his IPA. He says so. And then Your Mind Gardens in the house says hello.
What type of Goza? What flavor type is he brewing?
Yeah, what type of Goza are you brewing there, Cody? And then Hans Gomez in the house says, "Hi, dudes. Welcome, Hans. Cheers, brother." 420 says, "Same thing happened to my sport, MotoGP. There was a jump start on number 35, Cal Crutchlow. Same thing, guys. We look at it as bullshit." So 420 says he had to do a ride-through penalty, which made him lose any hopes of podium, which would have been first to third. 420 says Ultra Vans is also a great one from Sierra Nevada, which I do like the Ultra Vans as well. And good thing there, Eric. Ask anybody in the comments any questions, definitely. And cheers, Craig's in the comments. "Hey guys, happy beer day, just another day," right? That's our life, Craig. That is our life. Right?
Every day is beer day.
National Beer Day, just another day that ends in Y. So we are here drinking. Cody says he's making an orange Goza. So.
Oh, nice.
And then 420 said, "How's it it's actually, he said, how everybody thinks it's Craig is Kent, so it's funny because he's like, "How's it Kent?" but it's really Craig. But translation thing. But yeah, Backwoods Billy in the house says, drinks to National Beer Day, April 7th. President FDR signed a law to allow breweries to brew beer distributed in the U.S. to begin the end of prohibition. Yes, that is true. And the 420 says, Craig, do you watch MotoGP M8? So I think over there, I guess I don't know if that's what they run or what, but I'm sure MotoGP is across the world, different places. So don't know much about MotoGP outside of riding bikes, like on video games on Grand Theft Auto or something, or MotoGP, the game, Gran Turismo.
Did you guys see the newest, what is it, the litigation summary for Founders?
Yeah, so on Twitter, anybody that follows me on Twitter probably saw today. There's a guy that's a craft beer attorney up in New York, and I don't know if you saw it on my thing as well, Eric, but he's been posting all the summaries and filing and stuff and bringing it back to his Twitter page on stuff. So he really broke down a lot of it. So yeah, I saw some of that stuff there. Seems like they still got more stuff to work out though.
Yeah,
from
looks like summary. It looked like to me some of it's getting thrown out, and then some other stuff is getting. They're gonna, I guess, look at it a little bit closer. I guess it's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, he said it was kind of going to be some type of, I don't know, like a summary type judgment or whatever they're working on. What the final thing was, he said there'd be more details coming on it, but essentially a few of the things they kind of threw out. You know, the fact of Founders signing the paperwork for the agreement that was done, and because they kept that employee there, the other employee that basically verbally attacked this other employee. Some of that stuff, I guess, was a gray area enough the courts could throw that out, but there are some other issues the court said, no, that stuff definitely has substance to it. So still more to continue. But, yeah, it was supposed to be done around this point, so we'll see what happens. But I would think they would try to get it behind them, but I don't know. There's some people that are just so turned off and they're probably not going to drink Founders really anymore. So,
well, I would have thought the same thing. I would have thought Founders would have said, "Hey, kind of, let's get this done and over with. What's the judgment?"
Yeah.
Or hell, even the other guy there too. I thought by now they got sick of each other.
Well, it's kind of like some things in the craft beer world. It seems don't always have the best judgment on stuff when things happen. So as we see some of these things come to light, and some people are filing suits against companies and employees, the way they're being treated on stuff, and it's just like, you know, for us working in the business setting, it's kind of like, who the hell would okay something like this? But I don't know. It seems like you see stuff pop up here and there as far as things that take place. But at the same point, I was thinking about that earlier. Craft beer world is kind of like that kind of edgy type thing you usually want to have anyway. That's what kind of helps it stand out too. So can it be too edgy at points? Maybe so. But speaking of craft beer, they were showing the everybody's seeing like the Endgame trailer and stuff for Thor. Oh, not Thor, for the Avengers. But the new trailer, there's a part with Thor there where he's actually having a beer, and it's actually a craft beer. And people are like pumped up about it because they're like, usually that's like a big play, like by one of the big boys being in a movie like that, because they'll buy it all out and stuff. But no, everybody, I forgot what craft beer was, but if you look at the newest Endgame trailer, or if you Google it online, you'll see there's a lot of people putting stuff out there about how it was a craft beer. It kind of stole the scene.
Yes, I was going to ask you what type it was.
Yeah, let me see if I can see that on here.
Is he an IPA guy or a...
Well, it was funny because when that's a good question, because it was when I did the spotlight with Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews. He's a big Marvel fan, and I did a thing with him asking him who would drink what in the Marvel universe, and he was giving me some different ideas on stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of the craft beers making it into like basic regular TV.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you guys watch like Chicago Fire, but they've had zombie dust on there several times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Craftbeer.com had a piece on it. Let me see if it says what it is here. Yeah, he like zoomed in on it and everything when he had the beer in front of him.
I'm trying to fight off this cold. Ugh.
It's a can of Athena, a Berliner style Weiss from Athens-based Creature Comforts Brewing Company. Which Athena, you would think of being like, that's like something like a goddess name, right? So with Thor being a god, it'd be kind of like a beer he'd be drawn to.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Here, I'll pull up the image of it here. So right here in the scene, I mean, they blew it up and they put the can there and everything. So you got the can of Athena from Creature Comforts going to get some shout out there in the movie.
Nice. So I wonder how that works. Does the brewery go to them and say, "Hey, you put this in your, get this in the scene," or do the movie producers go to them and say, "Hey, we want to use your beer"?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could go both ways, depending. If there's somebody like, one of the people working on the movie is a fan of craft beer, they could propose to actually put it out there. Hey, we want to have a craft beer for him to actually drink here, versus having like your regular type beer. Let me see. And then in the comments, let me go back up. I missed a couple here. Actually, I missed more than a couple, it looks like.
I've been reading through them. There's been a lot of interaction between them.
Yeah. Craig had replied back to 420, said not as much on the MotoGP, but it's on all the time, more of an F1 fan. And 420 says a 300 horsepower super sport bike for 24 laps for cruise ships, full of money and badassness. Billy said, anyone brewing a beer? I am getting ready to brew a Dandelion IPA. And I haven't brewed a beer in a couple of years now, but I know Cody was brewing a beer that we mentioned earlier. And I think Thrash Metal was brewing a beer on his channel today as well. I think Drunken One was talking about possibly brewing a beer today.
Yeah, then he had a video. He said he couldn't for some reason. Something came up. So I don't think he was able to brew anything.
And Billy asked, 420, do you have your 300 MPH patch? He said 320 KMH sure, hit 322 on the way out of Vegas. Nah. Derek says, Jesus, dude. And 420 says 200 miles plus. So it's 200 miles versus the 322 the kilometer, I guess. Cody says he wants to do a Hefeweizen next. Frankenmuth Brewery is one of our favorite spots, and they got me inspired. I do like the Hef from Frankenmuth. They do a pretty good Hefeweizen. Craig said he's still not buying Founders, but really want to try the 2019 KBS. Sounds great. And Billy says, to Cody, I see you're brewing a sour. I will be brewing a Dandelion IPA soon. And it gives him a bunch of beer emojis. 420 says have torpedoes and Ultravez. So 420 is a fan of Sierra Nevada, obviously.
I'd like to know from Craig kind of what the cost or how many British pounds it is for one bottle of KBS. Because here it's
for the conversion,
like $5.99. Yeah,
KBS $4.99 here for KBS
a bottle.
I thought it was more than that.
It could be. I for some reason $5.99 for that's sticking with me here. It could be more.
Yeah, because I think it's what $24.99 for the 4-pack.
I was thinking breakfast stout is like $3.99 or something. I mean, I don't know. Eric might be getting a Rod J deal. I don't know. I can't say. They might tell Eric, you know Rod J. We're going to give you the Rod J deal.
Oh yeah.
Let me see here. And Cody has said to Billy, sounds interesting. Talking about the Dandelion IPA. And you said you have one bottle, not bad, talking about the KBS. And then Billy said, yeah, the Dandelions act as a hops either. all or the bitter and hops edition. JP says hello all. Welcome JP4, who's one of the newer subscribers to the channel. We hooked up on one of the streams. Appreciate you swinging by. And JP4 does some gaming on his channel as well. For anybody that's a gamer out there, make sure you check him out. And Cody says, wow, I never knew that. I hope it turns out backwoods. And Billy said he has brewed it a few times. Also, dandelion wine. Ooh, there you go. Some dandelion wine.
I haven't heard that for a long time.
420 says not JP7A. JP4 says or 5 or 8. So, yeah. Cody says never got into wine. Pretty difficult to make. Is it pretty difficult to make? Asking Billy. So. And JP4 says old Air Force vet. So thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Yeah, and JP was playing. He was playing World of Tanks last night. Actually, I say the other night, but it was just last night. It was kind of interesting because one of his moderators was sharing a lot of history information about the tanks that were showing up in the game, which was pretty neat too. Billy says there's a few craft brewing companies that have had dandelion beers. They just do a one-time release. It's too hard for breweries to get the dandelions. 420 nailed it. Watch what you fill SR71 with. And Billy says before hops was mainstream, other herbs were used like dandelion, lavender, etc. Yeah, I mean, depending on what you were doing back then. I mean, the hops were really introduced just to be the preservatives because a lot of the shipping of the beer. But before you had that, you know, you kind of had some of your group. And at one point, they even called ales without having the hops in it, rather than the difference in the ale and the lager. So,
So I wonder how much dandelion is he using to put in his IPA? If he comment.
Yeah, that'd be a good question. How much dandelion do you have to put in there, Billy? If it's a good amount, or you know, we talk about some of the beers, like for instance, we talk about beers that have watermelon. People have to put a lot of watermelon for it, or is there enough that you can do in a small batch and have a nice potency out of it, or so?
And I wonder, is that you put it in the kettle as it's, you know, as you're brewing, or is it kind of a cold throw it in there at the end?
Yeah, I would think it would have to go in there towards, you know, if you're going to do it for the bitter and like that, it'd have to be during a boil, but
right,
the flavor and stuff, that's in your end of the boil.
Yeah.
But he may dry hop some of it too. So JP4 says 420 that in the U2. Cody says interesting backwoods. Kent, so now I said Kent. Craig says $6.99 pound for a 355 milliliter.
Hey Craig, I got 10 British pounds right here, buddy. Go get me some, okay? Right here. But I did exchange back when I got back from England.
Billy says KBS is way overrated. Eric is right. 6 of beer, drink local. If I can clone KBS, then a craft brew company can easily reproduce it. So it says Bell's has 2 hard to brew kits as well. I don't know. I don't know if they ever put the recipe out for the KBS, but I know some breweries like Mad Tree here, they put the recipe out for all the beers they actually make if people want to brew them too. Some breweries are secretive though.
It would be interesting to maybe like say Mad Tree, for instance. They say, hey, here it is. Go ahead and brew it, and then they'll see how close it is to their own brew. And you know, have some kind of contest or kind of something like that. I would think that would be kind of interesting to try to see how everyone has a little bit of different, a little bit different flavor in how they brew the beer.
Yeah.
Or process, I guess.
Yeah, to see how it comes close to what they actually have. Or,
yeah.
You know, I think the biggest difference, depending on what you're doing, if you're brewing it not there versus somewhere else, you know, depending on your water source, that can come into play.
Yeah.
But you're going to pick up kind of the same malts and the hops. Now, time, I know some of the boiled stuff may affect how the hops pour into it, but it'd be kind of interesting to see. Mad Tree is a great thing where if you're a Mad Tree employee, at a certain point, each employee gets to make a batch of their own creation of beer. And so you end up coming up with an idea, and they go ahead and they make a batch. And then they put it out there where you can have friends stuff come to the brewery, and if it's a big hit, it's possible you may make the next big beer for them. But it's kind of nice how each employee has a chance to actually do that at the point.
Nice.
Thinking somebody else does that too, but I can't remember who it is offhand. Might be Madry I was thinking of too, though.
I know the employees really dig that and stuff. So
yeah, that's a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Does Sam Adams still do that? Like someone will present like with the beer and all that and the recipe, and then they figure out which one they like. Well, I guess it's kind of they figure out which one they like, and then they put it into production for the mass.
You talking about when they did like the home brewing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen them do that for like a couple of years, I guess now, when they did it a few years ago, because I had picked up some of those, but unless they're doing it on a smaller scale as far as where they're distributed, but I haven't seen them in a while. But that was kind of nice when they did it that way. You had some of this, like there was like 3 different home brewers that won their competition or whatever.
Yeah.
In production with their beers.
Yeah.
Definitely a cool thing for sure. Wet Dreams is in the house. Welcome, Wet. He says, I'm a good boy.
That handle, Wet Dreams.
Cody says, what's a craft beer you guys loved but will probably never have again? That we love but never probably have again.
Any other half beer?
Well, probably any the 450 North.
Yeah.
I think it's although Eric didn't love it as much, like the blackberry jam, we won't get that again because they won't make that.
I like the Bronze Nuggets. That was fucking awesome. Excuse my language, but that was awesome. The Bronze Nuggets.
Now they'll come out with it again sometime at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but will I be able to get it again? Is the thing.
Well, yeah.
The 450 and other half would have to be a few of the beers for sure, because you just don't have the availability of them. But I think a lot of the other ones, I mean, there's some that come out like that are one-offs, but most of the ones that I usually have end up being either out or they're seasonals that I've come across thus far, except for some of the 450 other half, things like that, some of the other smaller breweries. There's some that come out from Lagunitas that only come out at certain points, only come out as well. They have a few like that. Evil Twin, they're kind of that way too. There's some good Evil Twin stuff that comes out, but you won't see it again. But the one that comes to mind, because it's more recently, would be like the Blackberry from 450 North. That was probably one of the better beers. I get like a 4.75 out of 5 on that one for me.
Which one?
The Blackberry from 450.
Oh, yeah.
Which really probably wasn't even beer still, but
that's cool. Spiked Kool-Aid.
Yeah. spiked with crack in there, I tell you. But they do some good stuff for sure.
They got another release coming up Friday.
Yeah. But you're not going to that one.
No, I'm not going this time.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how it goes though, because they're supposed to do wristbands, from what I've been reading. I guess from the debacle from the last one, which I was at.
Yeah, because at some point they don't get it in control. It might come to blows with some people. You just know how people are nowadays.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, let me see here. 420 said you worked with aircraft in the military. Sorry for off topic. Hey, nothing's off topic. Definitely converse and ask questions and all that stuff. 420. It's all good, brother. Billy said, no, the wine is easy. Just getting the dandelions. He's Googled the recipe. 420 says, car is done charging. Taking my son to Mexican food. Cheers, mates. Yeah, have fun. Thanks for stopping in for a bit. Enjoy. Elbow 88 in the house. I'm down in Florida. What's up, Elbow? He says, all right. Good to see you guys. Cheers. Yeah. Can you actually say all right, not do it in the voice anymore?
It's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible.
Like doing Sons, you got to do Save Chappelle, Some words have become trademarked or phrases even. Let's see here. And then, let's see. And then Wet Dreams, he was asking us to send the link to come in. Send me I need to get your email. Well, you know what? Let me check something on Wet here. because I don't post a link in the chat. That's always a no-no.
Yeah, put the link in the description or put the link in the chat. Nope. Too many bad things happen when you do that.
Hell to the no.
That does not happen. Let's see. I was gonna say I don't see your message here, Wet. I was saying if you had your email on your about page, but if you give me an email, I can email you the link over.
Lord, man.
And Craig says, let us know what a good time when you were over working hard, Eric, and we'll try to meet up. So are you going back over there pretty soon?
Well, I put it in the comments there. Some people kind of know what I do for a living, and with I work for a foam manufacturer, and over there they've kind of banning foam anything over there. So I don't know when I'm going to be, or even if I'm going to be kind of going back over that way because we've got a couple plants closing that way. So maybe just a one and done kind of thing. But if I get a chance to head back that way, Craig, I'll give you a jingle.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, you guys could do some joint meetups maybe over there or something.
Yep. Do the Manchester piss up again.
Billy said about a half pound of dandelion per gallon of beer. Note, depending on how much bittering you want to add the leaves, buds, and washed roots. Nest to make a dandelion tea first with a few dandelions. It said like a hop. And like a hop tea, you need to taste the dandelion tea to judge how bitter it is. Not like grapes and hops. Each year the dandelion changes. So
what part of it are you actually using? I've never made like dandelion wine. Is it just like the stem part of it, or the flower itself, or?
Yeah. Well, I think he said add the leaves, the buds, and the roots. So I don't know if it's pretty much all of it, maybe, or. Interesting. Flow Rider, Hillbilly in the house. What's up? He says Rod. And Flow Rider, my WVU partner in crime. So Flow Rider always has some good stuff happening with his channel too. He's always got the party going for sure. Did music trivia the other night, and I could not, for whatever life of me, come up with a lot of the songs I used to know, but at least I was on the board versus the person I ended up winning.
Now what beer have you got cracked open there?
This is actually
it's an Aldi special there, it looks like.
This is Aldi. This is what I just grabbed the other day from Aldi because I just needed something to have if I did any streams or whatever. So that's like the Hop Lift IPA, kind of a basic IPA from that Aldi sells, which is from, I forgot the name of the brewery here. Third Street Brew House out of Cold Spring, Minnesota.
Honestly, for $6.99, it's not terrible.
No, it's for just a basic good IPA. It definitely does the job.
What's the ABV on it, Ron?
I think it's like 6.2 or so. Let me take a look here. Yeah, 6.2.
Nice.
And yeah, it's not too bad. I was looking on the can to see if they dated. I didn't even think about that. But
probably not.
I think it might have been on the package, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unlike what Bell's did, but
I'm gonna grab another one. I'll be right back.
All right, Todd. And Eric, you responded when you'll be back that way. Cody says, my IPA is malty, similar to Bell's Two Hearted. Is it a double IPA that you got or a regular IPA, Cody? Because while your double IPAs may carry a little bit more of a maltiness. And Billy said the greens and roots are the most bitter. Next, lemongrass, ginger, also citrus zest can be added. Also, hops can be added. Oh yeah, I will. I got that here. Flow Rider said for me to send my address. I got it saved from the other night. I just haven't shot over to you. I'll get that to you probably by tomorrow on the email for the gunpowder seasoning. Cody says, "Hey Eric, I saw you did the same out of any IPA. I'm checking it out in a bit, man.
You'll like it, Cody. You'll like it.
So that's the first time you've had it, though, right? Like you weren't getting it before when it came out. Okay.
Yeah, I see it's in 12 packs now too. You can get it. I think it's $16.99 for a 12 pack.
Yeah, it was in 4-pack pints. When I used to get it, was 4-pack pint cans, and now they have it in a 6-pack 12-ounce cans. I saw over there. So I guess now they're going to 12-pack. I mean, it's catching on where it's getting a little more popularity, I guess, out there.
It's good. I got to give Sam Adams credit. That's a solid New England IPA. It's not anything that's going to blow your palate away or anything like that, or make it be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. No, it's solid. It's good.
No, and that's the one we talked about before, I think, like kind of the big three when Sierra Nevada came out with their hazy little thing, and New Belgium came out with their Voodoo New England IPA, and then Sam Adams came out with that one. But I like Sam Adams the best out of the big three. I thought it did a really good job with it especially compared to the other ones. But as offering something out, if you have that versus other half in some of these other places, Trillium, Treehouse, you're like, yeah, it's not going to stack up against them as well.
Put it away, Todd. Put it away.
I got your taco right here.
Go ahead, Rod. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
No, I was going to say, versus some of those other ones that are kind of like your, more craft brewery, so to speak, in their the smaller type ones, it doesn't compete as strongly, but as a solid beer, it's still pretty decent.
Oh yeah, it's decent. I almost, based on the one I had, I almost picked up the 12-pack. I was like, damn, this is good, real good.
And with at least here with that one, they're actually pricing it pretty cheap relative to some of the other beers that are out there too. I think the 6-pack now was like $8.59 or something, I believe.
Yeah, the 4-pack here, the 6-pack, geez. The 16-ounce 4-packs are still like, I think $9.99, I think I see.
Yeah. And see, they brought those down to 8 something as well. They're usually $10.99 here, and they brought them down to 8 something as well. And then I would bet the 12-pack, like you mentioned, is probably priced nicely too right now.
$16.99.
Yeah. So, that's just barely over $1 a can, so that's not bad at all. For a beer, it's pretty decent. And actually, with this one, Todd, you've had the hop lift before, right? Is Todd muted?
Todd, you muted, buddy?
Todd drunk.
Sorry about that. These new headphones, I can just mute it from my from the thing itself. I forgot to turn back on. Yeah, I have had that one before.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more of a maltier type IPA as well, because the malt comes through a little bit more than you would expect for the hop bitterness.
Yeah, I didn't find that one, if I remember correctly. I didn't find that one to be overly hoppy at all, really.
Yeah.
Kind of subtle. Like you said, a little bit more to the malty side.
And then Cody said his is a regular IPA, so this kind of reflects in that too. I mean, which IPA are you drinking right there, Cody, by the way, too?
I thought he said he was going to go to the. Oh, you mean the one before he goes to the New England style IPA?
Yeah, because he's drinking a regular IPA right now, but I forgot to ask which one he was drinking.
So, have you guys picked up the Oberon yet this year, or this release?
I haven't yet, Todd.
I was at the liquor store the other day, and I noticed and I didn't look that close, but they had 6-pack bottles, and they also had a box of cans. But I'm thinking it was only 4 cans though. But I don't think they were pint cans. Am I correct in that?
No, they're 4 16-ounce cans. They've done.
Is that what they were? Okay.
They've done it in the past. You can get the bottles or you can get the cans.
I've never noticed it to do that before. Like I said, I just happened to be glancing through and saw it, and I didn't really pay that close attention, but just found that to be interesting. I guess I don't know why, but.
Well, some people like the cans when they go, I think, too, versus the bottles, especially people pop them in their koozies now. And
oh, yeah. Well, I just thought it was kind of interesting that they still did both and not just one or the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do it with There was another one they did it with. I think they did it with. I want to say. I don't think it was Lager of the Lakes, but it was another one they've done it with as well. That comes out towards the fall. Just kind of a choice type thing. That some people, whether you went to 4 cans or you went to 6 bottles. Usually the cans will be a little bit cheaper too, because I don't know. If
they were. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Yep. Might have been $1.50 or something cheaper, maybe.
Yeah. But I actually haven't. I've actually had it now this year, but the ones I've had were on draft. So I had it last week at a couple places on draft, but I haven't gone back to buy it after I had the one incident. Although I know places that have it fresh now. So
yeah.
And let me see here. Billy has said best to brew all dandelion beer, then a hops dandelion beer and blend. You can also do what I do. It's a dry hop barrel aged beer with Jack Daniel's wood chips. Soak the chips in cheap whiskey. Always like a little whiskey boost. And... Billy said, the toast in the oven, the chips, watch closely to char and sanitize the Cheetos or the chips. And Craig said, making a stinging nettle soup tomorrow. Keeping the cost down, won't get stung. And then Billy said, next, re-soak the chips. Place some in a cheesecloth or nylon bag. Place a few glass marbles that may have been sanitized or sanitized stainless steel bolts or nuts. And yeah, sanitization is really the huge thing with making beer for sure. Cody says, and comments are going quickly. Where was it? Yes, Eric. He said to Eric, I've really enjoyed what you've been doing with the beer-related things on the channel. So keep doing what you're doing there, Eric.
I am. I'm kind of bouncing around from the beer styles, not trying to stick to one beer style.
Billy said, then add some just chips for top. You want the top, mid, and bottom of fermenter to have chips aged 7 to 14 days, or to taste. Then force carbonate or add priming sugar to bottle. Let age 15 to 30 days. And then Elbow says he has a 10% off coupon from Total Wine to use today for Beer Day. I made a beer run and got some new brews today. Awesome. What did you get, Elbow? Let us know some of the beers you picked up.
BEER beer run.
Giddy up. Move them out. Giddy up. Whiskey Throttle's in the house. It says, hello. Welcome, Throttle. And Eric replied, trying to bounce some things around. Malt liquors will be back, but not on Mondays. But we're going to have malt liquor back in the house.
Malt liquor's coming back in the house.
Nice. And then Paul says, cheers, gents. Welcome, Paul.
What's up, Paul?
It's been a while, brother. You know, I don't know if you're working or not. If you're not working and you want me to send you an invite, let me know. Oh, he's usually working nights now. Cody says 5 minutes till end up boil. Look at Cody counting it down, sons. Which was actually at 9:40, so he's just about there. Now he's probably eager. He's probably eager for the boil to end. He gets excited. Throttle says to Eric, that's what happens when Todd's wife is there hogging the camera. Oh, Shannon, she doesn't hog the camera. She turns it away to her.
Well,
we love having Shannon on. Billy says, awesome discounts are great. I spent the day planting plants, trees, flowers my wife purchased at Lowe's on sale. I had some nugget hops, rhizomes to plant 3, plus a few fruit trees my wife got. I've never been much of a planter. I've never planted anything. I know, Eric, you got a big homestead where you're at. Do you ever plant stuff out there?
Just like vegetables. That's pretty much it, but no trees or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you plant anything, Todd, where you're at down there?
No, not really. Every now and again, but not very often. No, it depends. We have, but we don't all the time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, the only plant I'm doing outside is my butt in the chair with a beer and a cigar usually.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the best planting to do right there.
Yeah.
I gotta say that Joe's beer, the sour peach India Pale Ale, it's fucking awesome. It's good, real good. Like I said, other half beers, man, I ain't gonna be able to try many.
Cody said he's currently pounding his IPA, his own IPA. LOL. That's the one he was working on that they tested last week on the show, I believe. So that's the one he had actually made. And he says he had a can of Oberon in the fridge left over from his cousin's house, and also had the Frankenmuth the Half, which the Half was a good beer. Have you ever had Frankenmuth, Eric? Would you be in Michigan?
I think I've had the Half too, but I haven't had anything else. I walked by the brewery when we were in Frankenmuth. Me and my dad were there, but we weren't. We were there to do some fishing. We weren't there to go beer drinking or anything like that. So.
I know my friends that they brought me back to beer from when they were up there. They really enjoy it. Every year they go to Michigan, they go to that brewery because they have family up there. So
yeah,
they talk about how cool a brewery it is, and the food's really good too. They said.
Where in Michigan is that at?
Frankenmuth.
It's on the east side.
Are you talking about where's Frankenmuth located?
It's north of Flint.
So how far is that from you?
Oh goodness, it's about 2.5 hours from me.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember if it's quite to Saginaw. That's only Saginaw is a jog for me.
And Cody says he also saw 31st Brewing, which is Brad Allison preferred canned Oberon, I guess, to the bottle. So I've never done a side-by-side comparison of the two.
Is it really that big of a difference?
Well, him and his wife, I did watch that one. Him and his wife, they seem to think that there was. They both, I think, preferred, if I remember correctly, I was thinking they both preferred the can over the bottle, but I could be wrong.
You see, sometimes, though, with the can, some people will pick up that tinny feel as well, though. So some people will prefer bottle over it. So I guess it's a matter of sensitivity.
Brad's wife's a riot, man. I laugh every time.
You gotta love Jessica on there, yeah.
I haven't watched his videos recently, but man, every time she's on there, dude, I crack up.
I just like to wait to the ratings so she can chastise him on his ratings. She's like, when we did the spotlight on the channel, we talked about it's kind of like you said you don't like it, but you gave it a 3.75. That tells me you kind of like it. And he's like, well, I think it does this. Or she's like, well, if it's that bad, why would it be even over a 3? I'm like, I agree with Jessica. I agree. I don't know why. Brad likes to give high ones, so.
Sounds like the same shit Shannon would say to me. Why would you give it that? If it
right.
She's like, you always rate everything good. I'm like, no, I don't. Not necessarily true.
Which is, again, another reason they don't get all caught up in the ratings. So.
Right, exactly.
Let me see here. And Billy says he purchased plant trees, flowers, vegetables at Lowe's, Tractor Supply. I always bargain out with all on sale. I got a beer and hops. Plus, we had dinner after shopping at Applebee's. $1 margaritas. $1 margarita night. That is not bad. But $1 margarita, I mean, do you really get the alcohol out of it? It's kind of like you got to think it's going to be all watered down or whatever, so to speak.
Or the shittiest tequila that they could find.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. We're not talking top shelf, medium shelf, even bottom shelf, most likely.
Yeah.
This is like back and below.
It's coming out of Jose's trunk. He's just going to bring it in, and it's a homebrewed tequila.
We're running a hose directly to Mexico on this one. Yeah, so you see here. And then Whiskey says, Beery White, what's up? So he likes to call me Beery White. Eric Gilbert's in the house. Says, cheers, Jews. Welcome, EG.
Oh, no, not Gilbert.
Anybody but
Gilbert.
I haven't seen the Go Pack show up yet, so.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah, give it time.
And Throttle says hello back to EG. And Cody said, "Oops, I mean 5 minutes till next edition." Come on, Cody, you gotta know how you're brewing your beer, son. Han says, "I thought it was a hangover stream, not hangouts." Oh well. No hangover, no hangover.
We're too old for hangover. Well, not too old, but hangovers at our age, dude, they don't go over well.
Cody said it was packaged on 3/6/19, talking about the Oberon. So you get the fresh stuff there.
And Rod J got the old stuff.
Rod J took back the old stuff, got his money back.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Let's see here. And Elbow says, "I got Stones enjoyed by 4/20/19 and Left Hands Hardwire Nitro getting cold as we speak." How you? Oh, the beer getting cold. So you're in Florida, so you're not getting cold. I haven't done the Enjoy by 420 this year from Stone. I don't know if I'll pick one up or not to have for a 420 day or something. Have you gotten that one, Eric or Todd?
Which one?
The Enjoy by for their 420.
I've seen it, but I haven't grabbed it.
Yeah. It's almost like if you can do an Enjoy by 420, you don't have like some type of, either a mimic type 420 strain like Sweetwater did or actual THC or something like Lagunitas is doing. It's almost like, why even put a 420 beer out there?
Yeah, why bother?
Yeah. The only one. Go ahead, Todd.
I was gonna say, actually, I haven't picked up Stone in a while. The Woot Stout, I think, is the last Stone I bought this year so far.
That's the last one I got too, and that's in the cellar as well right now.
I want to try the Tangerine 420.
The Tangerine 420 or Tangerine Express?
Or maybe, is it Tangerine Express?
I think it's Tangerine Express.
Maybe it's the Enjoyed by Tangerine, whenever that comes out.
Well, the Enjoyed by is the Enjoyed by 420 right now. That's the one Cody has.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's a Tangerine Enjoy by that I've seen, but
yeah, I'm not sure on that either.
Although I don't really look at Stone really that much in their direction now. I got into Woo Stout because I heard some good things about it for some other type stuff, so that's why I picked it up. But
I usually pick that one up just because I've bought it every year for the last 4 or 5 years probably.
Yeah. I mean, even last year's edition of the Czechoslovakia, I didn't pick that up, and I like that one. So,
I mean, for here in Michigan, man, there's so many local breweries here. I always go, why do I want to go to Stone? And even, I mean, Deschutes does good beer too, but I'm like, why do I want to go to Deschutes when I've got pretty damn good local selection right here in my own state?
Yeah.
Why do I have to go outside to California or to Oregon or anywhere else?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to bust on them or anything. Like
no, and you're right though. I mean,
you're in Michigan, so you got a great presence there. And if you were like in Mississippi, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like me and Cody, we got access to almost everything.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see like the sales of like a Stone or some of the other bigger ones, like in the marketplace where there's not maybe as many choices, like you said, Alabama or out west in like Utah or Wyoming or some places like that. Are their sales much higher than somewhere like Michigan or Cincinnati or somewhere where there's 50 to 100 breweries that you can choose from locally?
Yeah.
I'd be kind of curious to see how the numbers would go. Yeah.
Yeah, see how they pan out and everything there in other areas like that. Yeah, because I mean that's what happens with some of the other breweries. They get in other areas, but they got a lot of other local stuff. They don't do as well.
Like I got access to Old Nation. I got access to Founders, Bells, good Arcadia. I got access to what's another one, a big one around here, Ellison. All the ones I got access to.
What I see like. Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
The Mantry ones, the beers you sent me, they're awesome. And I was like, man, those are pretty good beers. I'm going to go, I might go pick up like the Citra High. That was pretty good. And I'm like, well, man, I find the Citra High. I know the local brewery I can get. It's pretty close to that. I might want to put my money over to that brewery instead of to Mantry.
Well, it's like the ones you sent me for Ellison. Now we get Ellison here as well.
Uh-huh.
Ellison, I think we got like 4 or 5 different beers I saw they had at Jungle Gyms. And I think they're doing the Ohio side. They're not in Kentucky yet, but it's kind of like, they're on the shelf with these other ones. But a lot of people that have so much of the local beer here are kind of like, they may not get as much of a play. Now, Old Nation is here. And Old Nation, I think, actually did a little bit better. Because what they did is they just sent, from what I saw, just the M43. Right, because that's the one that's kind of got them back on the map and everything. So if you're going to make a presence into another market, maybe you're better send that one flagship in to get people acclimated to you for a while. Then you introduce other stuff rather than Ellison sending them 5 or 6 different things that people aren't as familiar with, possibly.
Yeah, like and my guess is if M43 takes off there, they'll give the Boss Tweed a shot.
Right,
see how that does.
Yeah, like you bring in the Boss Tweed, I would think after that. They come back and like, what was the one? The Full Earth was a good one if they released that for a limited thing, or the Greenstone. So, but you start off with your main flag type thing, like Ellison. I don't know what their flag one is because you sent me like I think 3 or 4. How many you sent me that I got reviews coming out on?
I don't know if they necessarily have a flagship per se.
Right. So if you see them on the shelf, and again, I'm just using Jungle Gym as an example, which Todd knows from being at Jungle Gym, you have hundreds of beers in there, right? You don't know anything about this brewery as much. If you go online, you're in the beer, you'll see stuff about M43 and Old Nation in different aspects. So that one kind of sticks out more.
Which if Earth's watching, I'm going to get you some Ellison and I'm going to get you some M43s to send to you. So I'm sure at some point Earth will come on.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 3 hours behind us out living a good San Diego life.
Nice 80 degree weather out there.
And then Craig said, cheers, guys. Great show. Talk soon. Basically, it's time for him to grab some Z's. So, yeah, he's now officially he's 5 hours ahead of us. So,
see you, Craig.
All right,
so
Craig.
There's was it 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 2:58 over there in the morning. So
he's always up late.
Yeah, well, he's got like the job that he does is kind of like as a caregiver. He's at home taking care of his wife and stuff, and over there in their system where they get like health care for everybody, it's like he's pretty much paid. I guess I don't know if he's like he works through the state or how he does it or the agency or however it works that out, but he's able to stay up late and then get up and then do everything during the day he needs. So it's not bad at all. And EG said cheers to Daniel, who is Whiskey Throttle. And he says, okay, then Todd is just scared of here and leans as far away as he can, LOL, at Rod J. So I guess he's because you're leaning back like a big pun there. So he's comfortable. He's on his couch.
I'm in my comfort. Yeah, I'm in the comfort now.
You think you're scared of her like you were scared of Shannon. So
yeah.
Where is Shannon? Shannon in bed already?
Nah, she's one of her good friends is over, so they're just hanging out watching TV.
Oh, did she didn't try to crash the show with her friend or anything? Did you tell her we were doing a live stream?
Yeah.
No, go do your live stream, honey. You go do your live stream.
That's why I'm down. That's why I'm downstairs chilling on the couch, in case I wouldn't have to. They wouldn't have to mute it every time they come in the room.
Yeah.
This might be my new spot. It's actually pretty comfortable. I just kind of hanging out and chilling.
On the couch,
I know.
Yeah. And then Whiskey said to Eric, not just awesome, but fucking awesome. So there's Earth. He says, what up, yos? So Earth is in the house right now.
Earth.
Welcome, brother. I wonder, is anybody out there watching WrestleMania at all right now or anything? Or kind of got it on TV in the background? Just curious. I know it's a big night for a lot of the wrestling fans. And I was telling these guys earlier, I don't know if you saw, was some craziness, I guess, there. Like apparently some fan tried to jump out at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony and attack Bret Hart when he was giving his speech, and they'd take him down and the police arrested him and stuff. And from everything that was reported on the nightly news as far as like the national news, but you always wonder, like, was this like a staged event by wrestling? Did this really happen? Or was this really a crazy? You never know. You just never know how things are with wrestling. So
It is Vince McMahon, so there's nothing out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly. It's like, are you in trouble? Are you really in trouble, or is this part of the act? So, but I haven't watched wrestling in a while. Although I hear Brock Lesnar's back there now, so
he's he's back, but is he a presence? No.
Yeah. Does he get like a title or something again or whatever?
Yeah.
I know that I was watching a UFC fight, and Daniel Cormier was making a joke about it. Like, yeah, he's like, Brock went back to do some stuff with WWE, but once he gets done, I'm going to kick his ass again here at UFC. So that should be a nice match. I think they're setting for either later this year or next year between those two. I haven't watched a UFC match in a while, though, but I do enjoy them. Backwoods said the sour peach Eric's got cold. Have the Brett yeast from the peaches, the malts naturally. Eric, you should try to brew a sour ale. He says, Backwoods, I'm not going there after the last brew I did with the Mr. Beer kit. Beer went everywhere. It was an explosion.
It did. It went everywhere, man. I'm still cleaning it up.
Cody says, I think the ratings can be a bit higher even if you don't like the beer because it technically hits the mark for that style. And he says, Eric said, Cody, did you catch the PBR Extra review I did? What is the PBR Extra? That's another one they have from PBR?
Yeah, it's like an
ice beer. We talked
beer.
about it, but I haven't watched your video on it yet.
It's like a ice beer malt liquor is what it is.
They should just call PBR Ice.
I don't know. Someone in the marketing said put PBR Extra on it.
Interesting. And Billy says Pat's Blue Ribbon is a beautiful beer. I don't know if I say beautiful, but everybody's got their own opinions, which is fine. Everybody loves what they love. It's better than people give it credit for. I give them that. It's like Miller High Life is better than people give it credit for. Like,
yeah,
it's a good. I mean, I guess some people, they don't like adjunct lagers. They hit it a little bit harder, but I could actually choose a PBR or Miller High Life over a Bud with no problem.
Yeah, I would put I'd put Coors Banquet in that same group there.
Yeah, Coors Banquet would be another one in there too. Yeah,
but you hardly ever see it on draft anywhere. I don't think anywhere here it's not. It's always PBR? Coors Light. No, for Coors products, it's always Coors Light. It's never
we have one bar here that I know they do Coors. And they usually like Coors specials like at different times. So you'll get like a 25-ounce Coors mug for like $2 as a special. So which isn't bad, $2 for a 25-ounce mug of beer. It's decent enough. They do it like when it gets kind of like into like some of the warmer months now. So you'll probably right now through like July or something, they'll probably have it on tap.
Yeah.
You got like 20 taps and that gets one of them. So, and it sells. I mean, because it starts to warm up. You're outside. You want something like that. Nice, easy going lager for sure.
Yeah.
Cody says, word for the wise. Brewing beer, drinking your own beer can be difficult. LMAO. Speaking of drunk with Cody, we never did find out. Hopefully your cousin made it through everything Thursday night okay. And I know he's had some trouble drinking some of the stuff there. So hopefully everything panned out for your cousin. Yeah. I forgot his name now, but he was chatting last Thursday when we were doing it as well. Hans Gomez has said LOL to Cody, and then Eric Gilbert says feeling the love right now. What are you drinking, Eric Gilbert? Like, as far as you haven't mentioned it yet, usually you got like a beer and a whiskey taking place. And then Billy's said to try an all grain recipe is better, not that difficult. And Whiskey Throttle says at Eric Gilbert, we all love you. Hans says Stone and Joy By are always unique. So, I may pick up one to do a review on it here before 420 as well. Billy says, I like going to a few local breweries to get their leftover yeast to use. That's not a bad idea. And Whiskey says, I need to come to Canada. We just add CBD oil to the beer you're drinking. And he says, add an Eric Lyons fan as well.
That's a no bueno for me, buddy. Can't be doing that.
No can do. Not yet. Maybe when I'm retired.
Yeah, can't be peeing dirty. Can't be peeing dirty.
But if you go to a spot where it's legal and you enjoy it and you do it, are you really breaking the law?
Well, it's when it's coming back is when if they find it,
But when you're back, you're not doing it anymore.
Well, it's still in your system.
Yeah, but technically you're not doing it when
That's true. That's a good point.
When you're here. Like if I went to Amsterdam and I partaked in a certain amount of brownies, technically I had them in Amsterdam where it was okay. I can't help if my body takes longer to process it out than my return trip back home.
I'm just going to say I'm not going to take that chance.
I wonder how much of that would actually show up when it's in beer form. Would it still show up like normal, I wonder?
I think there may be some trace elements that do take place.
It'd be interesting to see how much THC or whatever they use in it to instead of 12-ounce can of beer.
Yeah. But
take it to your analytical lab.
It's just interesting just to think, technically you're not breaking the law when you are doing it.
That is a valid point. I bet that would probably hold up if you were to fight it, I mean,
if you went to Washington where they're doing stuff, or if you went to I think DC has some stuff there too, or California, you're not really I guess it's different if you're in the U.S. because then you're breaking the federal law, right? Because federal laws doesn't recognize, just the states are. But if you're out of the country, there's no jurisdiction for the federal in that regard.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective there. Wonder what that would wonder how that would go over in courts if it actually was to happen.
Where's Perry Mason when you can use him?
Perry Mason.
Cody says, how can I get some beer to you guys at some point? Well, Cody, it's not too hard.
Yeah, we can tell you.
And we'll get to our addresses and stuff, and we'll get it over to you. You can always email me if you want to do something on my About page. My email address is there, but also it's just rodjbeerguy@gmail.com.
And Cody, I'm just a drive away, buddy.
Yeah, Eric will do pickup. So
hey, I might do one of your local brews right there at your well, I was gonna say your place you live at, but I'm like, that might not be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, believe you, when Ty did the 450 North, we were talking about doing a road trip down to Louisville, just meeting them down there and picking up as well. Like we could make it down at that time to go get it done. Let's see here. Backwoods Billy says, I have an Evolution Craft Brewing Company Migration Series Bomber aged in rum barrels, then blended vintage 2015 to review. I believe that 4 years is close to the max you want it to age. It is a big ABV limited. That sounds good. I like some of the rum barrel beers I've had, but really, as Eric will attest to, some of the ones that I've had now more with the brandy barrel. Not just the one that you guys got with the Spanish. I had the brandy barrel one from Jack's Abbey, their Framingham. That was pretty delicious too. I like to find some more brandy barrel beers.
Yeah, I'd like to see more breweries kind of do brandy style barrels. See how it turns out. A brandy barrel style.
And it's kind of interesting.
Go ahead, Ryan.
No, you're fine. Go
ahead. Or gin, or kind of throw something else into the mix to kind of see how it. Maybe they've done it. Maybe they said it sucks, and that's why they don't do it too. But that brandy one, man, that was that was the best beer I've had. The best.
It was tasty. Well, I've had one that was gin barrel. That was one of the breweries, Adelbert's, out of down in Texas near Austin, and they had a really good gin barrel beer. You don't see it as much out there, but I would like to see, like you said, more people doing stuff like that. You've had some different things where people have messed around with the kale on some of the beers, and some of these other ones out there that are getting crafted. So that would be kind of cool. But one thing, like my wife brought home a bottle of a Cabernet that was aged also in bourbon barrels from brewery. So she hasn't drank it. She's probably like, I'm probably not going to drink that here if you want to drink it at some point. So I might actually do a wine review and earn that top 50 YouTuber wine channel that FeedSpot gave me a while back, just to legitimize it. I'm like, How am I listed on that list as a top wine tuber on YouTube? I have no idea, but guess what? You other guys, you ain't doing jack then apparently, because you guys are all focusing on wine, and I'm not. I'm on the list.
You're still under.
I don't know what's going on with that one.
So, Rod, did she buy it knowing that it was in bourbon barrels, or was it an accident? Or
oh no, she bought it because she wanted to see what it would taste like. It was one of the Mondavi ones that she had gotten. She started liking some of the other type beers and stuff too. I actually went to lunch on Saturday yesterday, and I got her one of the wheat lagers from one of the breweries that was out in I think Wisconsin, and she really liked that one too. She'll experiment. I mean, she's more of she likes lagers, she likes some of the wheat, she likes the wheat beer probably the most. So it's kind of like I can scan the menu and know what she'll drink within a couple seconds. I know her like her palate and stuff now. So
she probably she drink much of the Heffies.
She'll drink those as well. She'll drink those if there's Hefeweizen. So like when we go out, I'll like look to see if they got one a wheat beer, two it'll be like if they have something like a Hefeweizen or another type of lager. Like she wouldn't like drink a Bock as a type of lager, but she would drink some of the other stuff. She found out she does like some of the sours because there was a couple sours she really liked as well. So it's kind of fun because I get to experiment with her palate and those stuff too, and find out what she's picking up on things. Kind of like you have Shannon, like kind of really more of a new palate to it all. So
yeah, I was gonna say we was out Friday night and was at a local. I was telling Eric before we went live, and one of the local breweries, more a restaurant. But I mean, they're a nano brewery also, and they had their own. They had a Heffy there that she really enjoyed. She's like, "Oh, this might be my new favorite beer from any of the styles that I've tried so far." So
that's pretty cool.
And it's pretty good, but it wasn't as banana flavored that you might actually usually see in a Heffy.
Right.
Which actually I thought was actually pretty good because sometimes they can be overpowering with banana flavor, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean they seem like they might have dialed it back a little, and that's the fun thing. That's why you can't always just automatically eliminate a style sometimes, unless it's something like you don't like bitterness, and you're not going to like the base IPAs for the most part. Most of your stuff out there, you're going to find different variations that can be a quick change up on stuff. I had one of my friends, she pretty much hated IPAs until she actually had Two Hearted one time and actually likes Two Hearted. She's like, I cannot believe I like this one, but I hate all the other ones. I'm like, it's all in your palate and stuff. Two Hearted is a different type of IPA. Right. I mean, it's got a nice smoothness to it and everything like that. So some of the IPAs, when you're new and you're not used to them or you're not a fan of the bitterness, they can come across rough. They hit you.
Yeah. And a quick story of that brewery I was talking about. And I think I may have mentioned on the show before. When it first opened, it was called Red Yeti. And the restaurant part is still Red Yeti. But Great Divide came after them for using the Yeti name. And they ended up having to change the brewery portion of it to Redfoot.
Okay.
And they're small. I mean, they do very little. I mean, it's a nano brewery, so it's kind of laughable in itself because they don't even bottle, they don't distribute. It's just what you get at the restaurant. So it's like, why would a brewery of that size even waste their time for such a small outfit?
Right. So their distribution is just local, like around you, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you can only get it. You can only get their stuff at the actual restaurant. So. Nice. / brewery, yeah. But I guess since they were using the Yeti name, Great Divide was, with their Yeti beers, decided to come after them a little bit, so they had to change the name of the actual brewery itself.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for cease and desist letters to be sent. So.
Yeah.
Once they get wind of it, for sure. Speaking of not really the cease and desist, as far as somebody said now, but basically with YouTube to the people, what did you guys think? Well, I know, Ty, you don't have the channel there, but Eric, like the whole YouTube thing, which I got some pretty good responses back on the video and stuff from people. Under 1,000 people, just like pretty much cutting the mobile live stream, which to me is counterproductive to YouTube in that a lot of your people prefer to do mobile type stuff now.
I saw your video. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll say versus.
I was gonna say I saw your video posted, but I haven't watched it yet. So what's the deal? You can't stream from like your phone, like at a brewery or something, and do a live video?
if you're under 1,000 subscribers, you can't live stream from your mobile device anymore. You can do it like I'm doing here, like on the computer, which usually because we do the shows and stuff, I'm usually using the computer anyway. But there are a lot of people that like to do the mobile stuff. For instance, like Paul was doing a lot of his stuff mobile on the live stream. So that kind of hits him. Or if Joe has to now open up a computer, if he wants to do like his Monday night thing versus using his phone.
What difference? What difference does it make? I don't understand. That doesn't even make any sense.
That's YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot there. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, like on the video, one of the things I brought up with is like, it's like you're penalizing smaller type channels, but two of your biggest stars had screw ups on their channels doing stuff, with Logan Paul and PewDiePie doing some things. So it's kind of like makes no sense. The only thing I can think of, something that came into play, maybe with that shooting that took place over in Australia, Queens, I forgot the name of the city, but Queens, whatever, where the guy shot up the Muslim stuff. And he was live streaming through Facebook and other stuff that maybe they figured to cut stuff out because they couldn't respond in time on the other channel. But it's like, that's got nothing to do with your subscriber size. Anybody can snap. So
right. Yeah. Crazy.
And I don't know, maybe advertisers were saying we want to put limitations on who we add channels on. We only want people to be, but it's like, you're not monetized anyway for under 1,000. So you're not like your ads are running there either. So I don't know whose brainchild decision this was at YouTube, but
there wasn't a very good explanation as to why they were going to do this either. I mean, I looked everywhere, and maybe it's out there. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and they made the availability of it like back in, I think it was May of 2017. So it's only like less than 2 years early, and people were used to doing it. People were building their thing up from it. It's like, so now you go to, like, say, a festival or you're out doing something for whatever your channel is, the park or like that and everything. If you're not over 1,000, you can't shoot the video you would have shot before. Like, I know so many guys that do drone videos. They can't shoot drone videos outside because it was based on the mobile type stuff.
So I guess you just have to do a video and then just upload it. And then kind of live, but not really live as far as the actual feed would go.
But then you lose the interaction. Like, a lot of people want their channels to interact. You can't interact with people at the time. So I mean, like I said, the video is their platform, but we're stuck by what decisions they make. I just think it was a bad decision.
That's pretty dumb.
Plus, when they don't explain themselves very well, that's a whole other topic on top of it.
Yeah.
I guess bottom line is they've just gotten so big that they don't really care about, the smaller channels or whatnot anymore. I guess it's almost kind of what it seems like anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it's not anybody really challenging them enough to knock them off their soapbox or whatever like that and everything, but off the ledge rather. And some people do Facebook type stuff, some people do Instagram type stuff. I think people used to do Periscope. I don't know if Periscope is still around or not, but YouTube is really the big driving one. Yeah.
Todd, the Beer Whisperer there, he's does all his stuff on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
He kind of told YouTube to stick it up your ass kind of thing, so he went to Facebook Live.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, but it's kind of like, with me, I think I'm last count looking on here, I'm like 821 or so subs. So it's almost like I'm at that A sub level of the get to 10, get 10, you get the 11th free or whatever. So it's kind of like I'm too deep into it right now to have to look back. But if you're like newer, I don't know. Do you still want to make that trek? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Man, this beer's good, man. I want to ask Cody if he's had. It's called the Coon Hunt Hen, or the Coon Hunt Hen Brewing Company. It's their White Devil. It's an imperial white ale made with coriander and sweet orange peel. I wonder if he's had that one.
What's the can look like?
Yes, I was going to say.
Is the light hitting it too much?
Just a glare in the middle, but you can still make it out, the White Devil and everything.
Is that
Imperial Wit at White Ale? It's Imperial Wit. 9%.
Is that a local brewery?
Yeah, right here in Michigan.
Okay.
I think it's here in Michigan.
Kind of sounds like something like would be like or not an Oberon, not Oberon, but Blue Moon or something.
Over by Detroit is where they make it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it kind of Blue Moon-esque?
Yeah, let me bring the beer up here. Yeah, you can kind of tell it's a little Blue Moonish. A little bit darker Blue Moon, but still,
yeah,
that color.
You don't need the orange peel.
I don't understand why they garnish the beer with an orange.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, I've had a lot of good beers of that style. It's like from where they're overseas, like you don't need the orange, but here they want to put the orange one. So maybe it's, it came out of Coors Miller, so maybe it's their thing they put on there, kind of as their niche on it. But
yeah. Probably another marketing thing.
Yeah. Let me see here. Cody says, Eric, I was thinking about that when I asked about the craft beer you'll never have. Honestly, I'll probably have all the ones I love because I have all my favorites here in Michigan. So that was when we were talking about, would you buy another beer? Like we were talking about the Mad Tree coming into the market or kind of going to your locals there as well. So a lot of times I look towards a lot of the local stuff first, as you guys know. It's usually for me, it's like local and then independent and then like everything else. But when I'm going through and I'm looking at stuff, it's got to be things I've heard other things about as well to really get my attention, So I'm looking at a shelf of stuff and I'm going through and I hear like, I see Two Roads is there, for instance, or I see Old Nation, or I see, Weyerbacher. I'm seeing these other breweries I know about that are supposed to be solid, and that gets my attention. But if I don't know who the brewery may be, then it's like I probably won't look their way as much if they're not like one of the local type ones. Yeah. At least until I get through the local ones I want to get through. It's got to have something to it to really make it stand out, Arizona Timeless in the house today. Good evening, all. Welcome, Arizona. And that was a little while ago because I'm like really behind you. Looks like Cody said, yeah, it catches my attention more when a brewery sends out a flagship rather than multiple. So we were talking about that there too. So Billy said, hey, Cody, we were building an outbuilding for a home gym and entertainment area. I will also have an area for just brewing. I was thinking about getting an electric brewing system and conical fermenter. So Billy's going all out there.
Hey, Todd, do they still have in Indiana where if you go into a party store, you got to be 18 if they sell alcohol or tobacco?
Yeah. I don't know about tobacco, unless it's like we do have like smoke shops where I think you have to be 18 to go into those, but
like for a child to come in there with you.
Yeah, but you definitely do for like a liquor store,
Well, see, we have the signs here that say that, but then I see people in there with their kids. So I don't know if anybody ever enforces it here.
I've taken my daughter in before and just had her stand by the door where she's not actually like, it's been years ago. I mean, when she was small.
Yeah.
Like, just stand here. I'll be right back. Yeah. Now, like, go leave her in the car because then you're going to get in trouble for that. So it's like, they were okay with it. It's like, she's not here, obviously, to buy anything. So,
yeah. Well, it's like I had my nephew before who was in, I guess, freshman or sophomore year, and he was up here. We went to the store. I left him in the car. But the same store later on, like, not them, but now, like a few months ago, I was there. Somebody came in there with their two little kids or whatever. They were shopping off, going to that store. The kids are right with them. And I'm like, does anybody pay attention to this label anymore? I don't know.
I wondered that because when I was with my father, we had to go down to Indiana when he did a little bit of making deer targets, and we had to go get chemicals for that. And we went into a party store, and I'm like, the guy goes, you can't come in here. And I'm like, what? I was like, get out of here. He's like, no, you can't come in here. And there was a sign that says no one under 18 allowed in the store.
Yeah. Is it that way in Michigan?
Years ago. No, you can go in.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter. You could be a toddler and you can go into the store.
Now, it might be some people just don't know the actual laws much anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like, or it could be like in a small town area, people know each other too. So they're like, oh, yeah, no big deal. We know you.
That could be. Let
me see here. And Cody said he was saying backwoods that was awesome. He would like to set up an official brew spot for himself. And Billy said, currently he brews in stainless steel pots on the stove, then fermentation in a plastic bucket. So 1 to 5 gallon batches. And Cody says he does too. Just ferment in 5 gallon cable carboys or 2 gallon buckets. Some of the other brew talk there. Cody says it's a drinking outside kind of night. And Whiskey says at Todd, beersome instead of a threesome at Rod J. Whiskey's right. I don't know. I think he's trying to kind of troll, but his game's gonna come up. Love you, Whiskey. Han says, I'm drinking Mass Hops double IPA from Concrete Beach Brewery. Where's Concrete Beach Brewery located at? Let me take a look on Untapped here. Let's see. Oh, located in Miami, Florida.
Oh, nice.
And he said he's drinking Mass Hops, which on Untapped has an average rating of 3.82. Apparently, I've had 9 friends who have liked it who have actually given it an average rating of 4.08. So, not bad. And Han says, tastes just like Hop Slam. Does it cost just like Hop Slam?
I've never, ever had Hop Slam, ever.
How do you
never tried it?
You're right there.
I'm like, IPAs to me now, once someone's made an IPA, they all taste, not that they all taste the same. They taste similar. There's nothing that kind of distinguishes one from the other. Let's put it that way.
I don't even know what you just said right there, man. You trying to tell me all IPAs taste the same?
Yeah.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
They do. They really do. Other than a double.
Oh, there you go. You're hurting me, son. No, there's some similar quality. I mean, a good IPA does stand out, I think, because of what you just said there. There's a lot that taste alike. So when you have a really good one, it will stand out some, right? So you have the regular stuff, and then you have like a 2-hearted, you get a difference. Or some of the other type of IPAs out there that are more your higher level or consider higher level type stuff.
I like me some 2-hearted. I do.
Yeah.
Whenever I go to the bar, I usually, if there's no middle light, I'll be like, well, give me a Hop Slam. Or a Hop Slam. Oh, my God. A 2-hearted.
Hop Slam isn't bad, though. I do think it's slightly overrated, but it's not bad. For what I rarely ever buy anything that's not individuals anyway, but if I was going to buy a 6-pack does it come in a 6 or 4? I can't remember.
Thinking 6. No, yeah, thinking 6.
Like $17.99 for it. Am I okay getting something else instead of that? Like, could I get a 6-pack of Stone and Joy By and be just as happy? I don't know, or some other type of beer that's an IPA.
I think the price point for Hop Slam does kind of kill it a little bit. I mean, I think it's a very good beer, but also, like a lot of them, it's kind of other things have caught up with it. So is it really what it used to be? You know what I mean? As far as the wait for it to come out every year.
Yeah.
And at that price point,
Well, is the Hop Slam trying to mimic like the 90-minute IPA from Dogfish? Is that what it's trying to compete against?
Well, I mean, you have the Hop Slam, which would be a double IPA. You have the 90, which would be a double IPA. So you can kind of say they're probably in the same category. I don't know if they're trying to go after them for that regard, but you would have them up there, yeah.
Well, you're trying to get on that same playing field, kind of.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like about Hop Slam is it is noticeably different from year to year, I think.
Now, somebody said in the comments, I was reading through the comments that they said they had the Mars, and they said it tasted very similar to the Hop Slam.
I haven't had the Mars, but I thought the Mars had a little bit of a maltier feel from what people were saying as well.
Yeah, I love
the Hop Slam, you get a maltier feel because it's a double, but So maybe it is similar to some people.
I can't remember who said that, but it was in the comments. I was reading through. I
probably didn't get down that far yet. Freaking, let's see here. Not as good at scrolling through these things as Joe, but let's see. Billy said to Cody, look on China sites like Made in China, DHgate, Liba, etc. You can get a professional brewing kettle for a brewery for $1,000. That's close to the Grandfather and new Robo Brew for which he homebrews. So, and Cody said he did catch the PBR extra after one workday, and it was quite interesting. You thought it was an ice malt or malt liquor.
I haven't seen that.
It was a one and done for me, Todd.
Yeah, I knew you didn't care much for it. Honestly, you can say I haven't really looked for it either, though. So
no, I bought a 6-pack of the 16-ounce cans, and I was like, well, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. But would I pick it up and pay another $5.99 for it again? No.
Yeah.
And then Billy has said PBR won the World Cup a few years ago for American lager style, which I do remember that happening as well. Like I said, PBR is not a terrible beer. Actually, for an adjunct lager, it does well in that category. So, and Cody said just had his first PBR at a hockey game. There you go. Which here we got like a minor league team for hockey, the Cyclones, and they always have PBR feature there as well.
Was it the last Red Wings game, Cody?
They should have. They should give a big check to Clint Eastwood for bringing that name back to life.
Oh, it was before Eastwood for Gran Torino.
Yeah,
because he had like be a push like an Applebee's and all that stuff years back too. It was like the new hipster type beer.
Yeah, but my brother, for a short time, he worked one night a week at a liquor store. It was like his ex-wife's family owned it, so he was just kind of helping them out. So he said right after, as that movie come out, he was like, people were just, they couldn't keep it on the shelf. It was selling out all the time. Like they couldn't keep it on the shelf. That's the reason why I say that is because I would say, you know, kind of made it cool again or whatever.
There were a lot of homeowners saying, get off my lawn. Yeah. Which, I don't know if I told you guys, but I got a chance to see that car when I was in Vegas years ago at one of the car shows. And that's a pretty sweet ride they had used in the movie there. Eclipse. Steven dropped by. Said, I was just dropping in to say hi and bye. He had to go off to an event. He said cheers. So we appreciate Steven jumping by for Eclipse Brewing, which I got to send him a reply back on the beers he sent me that I got to actually try here. Cody says his cousin was okay. LMAO. They got some pizza and then they passed out. I got a feeling, Cody, your cousin's going to be coming over on Thursday night so you can both watch the stream together again. It was great having you both on there, too, by the way. Billy says Miller High Life is a bit spicy and slightly more carbonated than other adjunct lagers. Eric Gilbert says Wells Bomber to Ale, no whiskey for some reason. I don't even know who you are, Gilbert. You have no whiskey? No whiskey in the house or just not feeling the whiskey tonight? Don't even know who you are. And then Eric says, I dig it backwards and Coors Banquet. And Whiskey said, move to Canada. Let's see here. Then we had Backwoods said, Bud has the herby, earthal, woodsy taste notes as a woodsy. As it used to be, they no longer age in beechwood barrels. They age in St. Louis steel tanks with beechwood staves. Yeah. The whiskey has said, Perry Mason, how old are you, Barry? Like, yeah. That was, I'm old as you. You know Perry Mason whiskey, so I don't know if you don't know who Perry Mason is.
Not the Ozzy Osbourne song, Perry Mason.
Yeah. Then Billy said Budweiser used to use only whole cone hops until a few years ago. Now pellets and liquid hops. Yeah, they've done some different things. They're changing. They're not an American company anymore either. So, Not that should affect your opinion, but just saying. He said I should lay you some beer from Canada. I wouldn't say return that package. I would take it for sure, whiskey. So I wouldn't want you to send it from Canada because I know you probably get killed on the taxes probably there though.
Yeah, no shit.
Which Eric said expensive as well. Cody said, Eric, I'd go have a beer with you. Let me know sometime, and I can get you some of my beer also.
All right, man. I'll take you up on that sometime.
And then Throttle said that Eric, we'll work it out, you cheapskate. He said it sounds good, Rajay. We're talking about getting the beer and stuff. So Throttle says, where's the chubby guy that does all the advertising for Nike? Now, that's a better troll comment right there, Throttle. Yeah, I think he's out watching WrestleMania with some friends tonight.
Give us a WrestleMania update, buddy.
I haven't seen anything on WrestleMania. Let me see.
We got to be getting close to the end here. It's 10:30.
Live updates, matches, card. Like CBS Sports is covering it. What?
Big time.
Rey Mysterio still wrestles.
Right?
Apparently not any longer because apparently just Samoa Joe put him to sleep, they said. Let me see. History will be made in the main event when a trio of women will headline. For the first time in history, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair.
Huh.
I wonder if they go woo when Charlotte comes out.
They do.
They do. Does she have the Flair slap as well?
I think she tries hard, but I don't think she's got it quite down yet.
Let's see here. Well, the championship match is probably not taking place yet, right? So
it'll probably be 11:30 for that thing's over, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you get the triple headers, then you got Triple H versus Batista in a no holds barred. God, I remember that movie back in the day with Hulk Hogan and Zeus. That was terrible work on that movie.
Terrible.
That movie was awful. Now you look back on it. Well, it was probably awful then, but you were into it because of the wrestling. But I don't even know some of these people. Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. Kurt Angle still wrestling? His farewell match versus Baron Corbin.
That's the thing. That's the thing you get in a wrestling, you can't get out of it.
But they said the average age of the wrestlers when they die is like 45, so some of them get out of it anyway at a younger age.
Saw somebody post something on Facebook earlier with Hogan, so I wonder if Hogan made an appearance there tonight.
Oh, that's a given, Todd.
Apparently, there's a cruiserweight championship. Tony Nese defeated. Oh, my thing just switched off. Tony Nese defeated. This computer's being kind of slow right now. Oh, everybody's got like Twitter comments and stuff taking place here. Defeated Buddy Murphy for the cruiserweight. Camilla wins the women's battle royal. Block. Why is every site you go to is asking about your notification or your location? It's like, no.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm like, no, I'm not giving you that.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins defeat the Revival to win the titles. This is funny on CBS Sports. They're actually giving grades to the matches. Like, it's fake, right?
Yeah.
How good is it being fake?
The tag team match got a grade of a C+. The match with Tony Nese defeating Buddy Murphy got a B+. Carmella winning the other women's battle royal got a C. What is this? Braun Strowman wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle kickoff show. That was a grade of a B. WrestleMania host Alexa Bliss introduces Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, she's out. She's out for a little bit. I think she's got some knee or shoulder issue or something. I can't remember if it's her knee or shoulder.
I don't even know who she is.
She's one of the top women's wrestlers. As you tell, I've been watching.
You're telling on yourself, Eric.
Not WrestleMania.
Yeah. Seth Rollins defeated Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
To win the title. That was a grade of a B-. So could have done a little bit better than that. Could have done a little better. AJ Styles defeated Randy Orton, got a grade of a B. The Usos defeated The Bar. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship, another Tag Team Championship. They got a B+. That's like the highest grade thus far. Shane McMahon defeated The Miz. Shane McMahon is still wrestling.
Oh wow!
Here comes the money. The money.
Miz.
That got an A- for grade.
I remember when The Miz was on Real World way back when.
So do I, Tom. Kind of funny story about the Real World. I actually put in my tape to be on, which one was it? The Las Vegas show? And I never got a call back. Never got a call back. Never got a letter. Never got anything. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm out because I haven't gotten anything back yet.
Never be said you didn't reach for the stars, though. You went for it.
Yeah, at least you submitted it. You know how many times I went to fill out an application for Survivor and I never turned it in? Years.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you turn it in?
I don't know.
Diana probably talked you out of it. Like, you can't do that.
No, she never did, but she actually never knew I filled them out.
You know what's popular for Survivor and what's the other one? The Amazing Race and those other shows at Cincinnati. They get a lot of people they get a big draw from ratings here. So they pick a good amount of people from the Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
God, I got to make sure that's right. Now I got to look that up. Now you got me. Let me see. It was about 2,000, right around there. Oh, it would have been New Orleans. Excuse me.
Oh, New Orleans one? All right.
Yeah.
Could have been the Dave Chappelle one.
Is that show still on TV? Is The Real World still on?
No, it's done.
It used to be Road Rules. I remember that show too.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand Road Rules.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I remember when MTV used to actually play
videos. Yeah. What?
No. Well, they still do. It's just called MTV Classic.
Yeah. I remember it was like Club MTV, Headbangers Ball, Yo MTV Raps.
Yo, yeah.
I liked Yo MTV Raps. I liked that and Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, and it's like, then one day it's like, oh, there's no more music, but it's in your title. It's music television. It's MTV.
Right.
We're not going to show music anymore.
Yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah,
we're not doing it anymore.
How do you do that? That's in your title. It's like, I could put it in my Facebook page, like some of the assistants I deal with. Like, they don't want to assist. I'm like, that's part of the word that makes up your job. Assistant's in assistant. It's like, if you don't want to do that, why are you here?
It's crazy to think that they still make all these videos, music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to do a weekend ramble about how I submitted my video and how the video was done. I wish I had the video and play it back. You'd be like, "Oh my god, you suck."
Well, did you do your? I haven't done it. I didn't even check to see. I don't know if they tagged me or not. I really wasn't thinking about it too much. When I saw people were doing these 5 things you didn't know about me or something videos taking place.
Oh, I
don't know if you got tagged for it or not or anything, but that could be something you could tag in there.
I
haven't watched anybody's videos that done it, so I may have been tagged. I did see a couple people that did it early on, but
yeah, Joe did one.
Yeah, I know Joe was mentioning maybe send it to me or somebody else. I'm like, oh, send it to them. Don't send it to me.
I just might do it as a part of my weekend ramble series, which I backed it off to once a month.
And Paul, I think, did one too. I think he might have tagged Paul in it.
Okay. Yeah, I think he was talking about either sending it to Paul or sending it to me, so I think he did send it to Paul. The Women's Tag Team Championship, I don't know, is it the Iconics or Iconics? Defeated Boston Hug Connection.
The what?
Iconics defeated Boston Hug Connection. It's the Women's Tag Team Championship.
I couldn't even tell you that, man. I didn't even know they had a Women's Tag Team Championship.
Creative of B, and then Kofi Kingston defeated Daniel Bryan to win the title. Great. That's a great A-. Samoa Joe defeated Rey Mysterio. Grade C-. And then Roman Reigns defeated Drew McIntyre. And I got a grade of a C-. So this Ben Campbell was actually grading the fake matches with real grades.
They probably grading the performance is probably what he's doing.
I don't know. I don't know. It's all fake.
You have to. Because you know what's you already know going in it's scripted, so you have to see how well they pulled off the performance. Number one of the wrestlers and how they pulled off the script.
Like the bad choreography or something.
I told you to reverse and you didn't reverse.
I do want to see the wrestle movie coming out though that The Rock has created or produced. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's got the guy that I forgot his name is, but he's on Into the Badlands now. But he's like the chubby guy that's always with Simon Pegg and they like Shaun of the Dead movie and the stuff they do. But essentially, it's like a family of wrestlers or that love wrestling, and the daughter gets into wrestling for WWE or whatever. The Rock's producing.
Oh, yeah.
And like her brother wanted to get in, but he didn't get the call. Kind of like, you not getting a call back for putting into the show. But she does get the call and goes there, tries out, as making it, and then like her whole family's going through the whole WWE adventure. It looks pretty funny. It's gonna be a comedy. So
there was one thing I seen on, was it YouTube? Must have been. Yeah, I think it was YouTube, where the smaller event, like the little indie events, like you can go probably anywhere like Cincinnati and see like a wrestling event, but it's only going to pull in like maybe tops 100 people, and all those guys go. It's really hard to pull in people when you don't really have a name to draw people in. Like they had Marty Jannetty there once from the Rockers. You remember the Rockers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they pulled him in, and he goes, "But we still only had a couple of empty seats, but that was the biggest event we had, and it was only like 150 people we drew in."
Yeah, we have a spot here, a couple of spots. We have a second spot. I used to do local wrestling like that and everything, and it would be kind of like that. I think it's just one spot we have now here. But if you ever see Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, if you ever seen that movie, he goes to little local stuff as part of the wrestling circuit. You have the small crowds like that.
Yeah,
it was kind of like that when they do it here.
We actually have one here. It's called Ohio Valley Wrestling, and it's like I think it's like an affiliation with WWE at some point. But I just saw in the news this past week where they're trying to get like an accreditation to where you can actually get like college credits or go there and and get a college degree through it or something. Somehow I'm not even sure what it all meant, but where you get scholarships and shit for it. I don't even know what that was like. How do you get what's your degree? I majored in wrestling. Like what? What is that?
I ace chokeholds.
So it's like Danny Davis was like, I think he's local. He used to be one of the big like referees for WWE. Well, WWE back in WWF days.
Yeah.
So that's like local here in Southern Indiana.
You should watch some of Howard Finkel's interviews, man. He's got some stuff to. He's got some stories to tell.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rough career, doing that for sure. Let's see here, and Billy said brandy wine also flavored whiskey like apple or honey barrels, also a combination of two different barrels like flavored whiskey and brandy. And Whiskey and Eric, he keeps up with the comments for Rod. Yeah, talking about you, Eric, keeping up a little bit with the typing there, I guess.
Yeah, I am.
He said that Billy, flavored whiskey, that ain't whiskey. He put a frowny face. Because whiskey loves his whiskey. He don't want anything screwing with it there. Steven, you're back. Eclipse says, I have a bourbon, American oat, and a cognac French oak for beer stouts in the American and Saison Ale in the French. Just start my test brews. Speaking of test brews, I don't know if you're still there, Eclipse. If not, but I am going to check yours out this week and let you know. I'm not going to probably be able to put them on camera, but I would definitely give you some feedback on them. And Billy said, it is, in my opinion, back to Whiskey Throttle. I just like an extra note. These are not sipping whiskeys, obviously, but in my opinion, great for use. Using to add flavor to the wood chip, spiral blocks, or barrels. And Billy said to Eclipse awesomeness. And I don't know, Eric Gilbert says, that's your boob. I don't know. I don't know what Eric Gilbert's talking about. Steven said, thanks, back was a very excited to get a few gallons of each going. And let's scroll down here. And very active here to keeping up on the comments. Backwoods said, YouTube is getting ready to become obsolete. The fact is that the bigger channels actually have views from smaller channels. Yeah. You know, I don't know if I watch a lot of the big channels though, really. I mean, I think probably the biggest channel I watch, well, there's a couple I'll watch that might do like different tips on YouTube, and those ones have like, you know, 300,000-400,000 subscribers or whatever it may be. But as far as the ones I'm mainly into, a lot of the beer community, I don't think there's, I mean, Joe D's pretty big on his channel, I guess. Simon's pretty big on his at Real Ale.
I like watching DJ BrewTube.
DJ's got good size on his as well.
But
I
he's
wouldn't
like,
say the scope of all the big, when you think of big on YouTube, none of them are in the scope of the big ones.
No. There was one over in Europe that had 100,000 views, I thought.
Yeah, there was one that Simon brought up that 100,000, but I didn't really see that guy on there. I don't know if he's still. I mean, I would think he's still doing it, but I don't know. But he was the first beer tuber to 100,000. Simon has said in this video.
But I don't think there's any beer tuber that has 1 million, is there?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, unless you get into looking at something like maybe like the Stone Beer Channel or Brew Dog or something like that and everything. But I don't even know how big their numbers are.
Yeah. Well, I say our.
Oh, he was saying that's you, Boob, as for YouTube, I think, earlier. I think about it.
Well, I kind of put our kind of niche is a very close one, too. It's not really going to get any real big amount of subscribers, and it's just something people don't go to YouTube to look at.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to definitely branch into other things to grow viewership. I mean, I think if you're just doing mainly the beer reviews, you're probably limited on how far you might get, depending, because there are a lot of more beer review channels coming out every time I turn around, it seems. So
yeah, that's why I kind of branched out into the sports kind of
yeah
stuff. So, I mean, not to say I still don't do it. It's just that it's on a smaller scale, and the sports is kind of taken over.
I think you can still do it, though. I think it's a matter of, again, it's bringing something different. So it's not just doing just the reviews. I mean, I try to do different stuff with this channel because ultimately the goal is to talk about beer and make it fun and entertaining for people that want to learn about beer. So doing different things. But then I also added in like doing the beer movie trailer type thing for people that want to kind of kick back and maybe check out an upcoming movie and see what it might be about, or some other type stuff that I'm going to experiment with. But YouTube is something you got to constantly keep inventing yourself to get people to stay involved and pay attention, I believe.
I was thinking about actually doing a video and then uploading it to Twitter and then seeing how it does directly to Twitter and seeing how it does on that platform.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've been thinking about doing, and I don't know if it's ever going to come to fruition or not, but I thought about it.
Well, you never know until you try it. I like to be able to convert some of my Twitter over to YouTube,
or doing Twitch. You can even do Twitch.
Yeah. And Twitch I started messing around with as well, and I just checked it the other day after we were talking and got some views there, but I've only put one video out there. I have to play around with it a little bit more to see if I'm doing anything more with it and everything. Billy told Eclipse, I like using wood chips. It is not as dependent on married barrels to get the taste. Gabriel's in the house, says hello. Welcome, Gabriel.
What's up, Gabriel?
What's up?
Cody said he has had the White Devil. It was pretty good. He loves white ales. Gabriel says as well. Billy says, Roger, you can fly a drone. You can fly a drone anymore without a drone pilot license. I think without anymore. That's what he wanted. And flying over people and filming required permission of event organization and a pedophile video due to idiots. Yeah, I don't know. I think here I don't know. I don't have a drone. I thought about getting a drone at one point. I don't know what the rules are around here. I don't know if each state is guiding its own state laws on it or if there's a federal. I know that airports have now made the zones where you can't have drones and certain things because of the danger that's starting to increase for pilots flying the planes and, of course, the passengers on the planes. Which you'd have to be a stupid idiot to fly a drone near an airport anyway. I mean, that's just stupid. Putting up people at jeopardy like that. Cody said, going to add some Saffel is 05 yeast to the beer soon. I've actually used that in brewing before. Eclipse says, wood chips and spirals are great. I use them with good success. Cody said, on Oberon Day, my bartender added orange. Why is your bartender still bartending? Do the orange back in his face, son. Oh, let me see here. Come on. Earth said he passed on Hop Slam this year. I think I scrolled down too far, though.
Man, this white ale is fucking awesome, dude.
Cody didn't like Hop Slam. Yeah, so you really like it there, too. Did you get a six-pack of it?
No, this one I just got a single of.
Billy says a few inbred idiots have made it difficult. Someone landed a drone on a White House lawn. They buzzed the Chinese when they meet with Trump, also having drug dealers using drones. Idiots buzzed it. Yeah. Let's see here. He said a few inbred idiots. Yeah, that's funny. Idiots buzzed a few commercial planes, thus drone laws, plus idiots buzzed news beaches, etc. Well, you kind of figured the new beaches were probably going to get buzzed by people with drones at some point. I mean, but yeah, the plane thing was just stupid, but there's just what's wrong with buzzing new beaches other than the dudes. Well, some things are just predictable, so
don't fall asleep over there, Todd. I see you.
No, I'm watching. I got the Colorado Rockies and Dodgers game on. Some guy just started running from the stands out through the outfield, and all these security guys just went out and tackled him.
Mister's here. Welcome. He says kids cannot touch a bottle or anything containing liquor in it, and as long as they don't, then they can enter the store. If they touch it, they have to leave immediately here in Ontario, but they usually don't say anything. So maybe, well, that's in Canada, but maybe here too, if they're not touching anything, they kind of look and let maybe some kids in, depending on the store, I guess. Cody says he's moving away from IPAs a little bit lately, loving the German beers, German purity law. Yeah, the Weizenbot, it's worked over time. We know people do like it. I got IPA fatigue once back. I don't know if you guys had gotten it or anything, but I had stopped for a while just because the IPAs were trying to drown me out a little bit too. Have you guys gotten burned out on IPAs like that?
I go through spells.
Yeah.
There's sometimes. Go ahead, Todd.
I was going to say, I don't know if it'd be a burnout, but I guess it kind of is, where you just kind of want to get something different, Yeah. Especially in the summertime when all your, kind of IPA season, a lot of your specialty IPAs come out, whatnot.
Yeah, I'm about the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I've got however many beers I got in my cellar now, but a lot of them aren't like IPAs, and it's kind of like when we get the IPAs, we do our little sharing and stuff, like you, Eric, Joe, Todd, we send beers up. He does all right, another IPA. Let me move that to the front. So drink this. We're going to drink it here and that. But so hopefully I'll get these other ones uploaded. You'll see a lot more non-IPA beers on the channel here too. Gabriel says 6-pack is $19.99 for Bell's Hop Slam, and his Total Wine is sold out. That's funny because here, our Kroger, it was $17.99 a 6-pack, and it sat there for at least 2 to 3 weeks before I don't even think they sold them all out because it was a stack of them. And usually you'll see it gradually get broken down. I just think they ended up returning them back. I think the distributor came back, picked them up, and took them to another location to try to move them.
Oh, I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So again,
sure
it depends. depending where you're at and depending what people's feeling are towards it, dictates what the market might be. Beer Man in the house. What's up, Beer Man? Beer Man's out in Washington. It's just similar, but everything has a very unique taste. Nothing has the same recipe or the same way of making it, but I understand what he's saying, why they came out with so many different variations of IPAs. Eric Alliance fan responded back to Earth saying, see it sitting on the shelves here still. So we can ship those to Gabriel so Gabriel can take a look at them.
And Earth.
Yeah, and Earth. Okay, Earth said he wasn't going to do Hop Slam this year anyway.
Oh, okay. Not to Earth. Then.
Yeah. Cody says, very happy you guys came on tonight. Well, thanks, Cody. We appreciate it. Like having you here, too, and glad you could make it in for this National Beer Day stream. Eric Gilbert says, IPAs tend to taste the same after about 6. We're going 6 deep, Eric. I'm just saying.
All right, man. All right.
Billy says, try Beck's Pure German Purity Law, no adjunct ingredients. Try Beck's Beer, German Purity Law, no adjuncts. So, yeah. Beer Man, got to do my show soon, but very good to be here. Yes. Well, thank you, Beer Man. Are you going live on your show, or are you doing a video upload? Because I know you've done a lot of videos. I don't know if you've done a stream on your channel yet. If you do, let us know. Cody says, Saginaw Spirit OHL game, my son's first hockey game. Oh, congrats. And hell of a night just for that reason. That's pretty cool. You get to take your son to his first game. Our Cyclones here are IHL, so I don't know where they relate to the OHL, but that is cool. Han says, I'm drinking Hop Slam. No, LOL. Beerman says, they like to drink PBR here on the West Coast for some reason. I don't know. I've never really been into it, but I'll have one if you give it to me. Because it's like the hipster beer now. So Cody said the backwoods, I've never had Beck's, but I'll have to try some. Yeah, Beck's is there. I mean, there's some good. I mean, if you got a good, like, I don't know what Cody's stores are like where he's at. We have one of our stores that are really good where they have it lined up out of different countries, and Jungle Gyms is the same way. You can find any of the good beers that come out of from overseas, and if you get any of the ones that had, say, brewed under the Reisenbach law, you know you got a solid thing there most likely. The only thing you have to watch out for some of those beers, though, is that sometimes over there they don't use the brown bottles, so your beer, depending on the date, can actually get skunked depending on how it was treated when it was being held by the store. Billy says the adjunct ingredients are not that big of a deal. Rice is a drier, corn is sweeter. You get a fermental sugars that do not add to the body or change the color, which in my opinion is good for lager. Yeah, I definitely think it's more of a preference. I mean, people will drink Bud and they're okay with the rice. People, I guess, will drink Miller and they're okay with the corn. It's really with your palate, what you really like and everything. So, Cody says, my cousin and I have the smoothest, most dangerous tequila ever, LMAO. You still got tequila left then? Or did you drink it all when your cousin was there? Because I know you guys are doing some work.
Putting in the time.
Bob Johnson, welcome. He said, have a good life, friends. Be safe on the internet. There are lots of bad people here. Yes, there are, Bob. Yes, there are.
Yep.
Yeah. Cody says he tore up those Oberon cookies. Yeah, that's what I got to find because I saw somewhere else where they were advertising those too. So I would like to find those Oberon cookies. And Billy says, as far as Bud Light versus Miller Lite, it's Bud drier. Miller is slightly sweeter. Miller is slightly more hoppy. Eric says Miller Life or High Life for life. Oh, Eric Gilbert said, not feeling the whiskey tonight, sons. I have plenty. Some say too much. Oh, well. You know, you drink a lot of whiskey. You're a whiskey guy, though. So everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Cody said, Budweiser tastes different to me now. Eric, I want to get a separate fridge to do lager sometime soon. Layering looks like a very hands-on process. Yeah, or lagering. He said, I think he meant lagering instead of layering, I believe. And actually, lagering, making a lager versus an ale, a lot of people would say making a lager is actually easier than doing an ale. So, And then Billy says, have you tried Genesee Light and Genesee Lager? Talking to Eric, both have actual flaked maize, but a difficult process versus breweries corn syrup, spicy like Miller High Life, Miller Lite, also carbonation. He said you've had the light, but not the regular lager, just the cream ale and ice.
Yeah, those are the beers I've had from those guys. I don't think I've had the lager, the Genesee Lager.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Joe, Joe gets the Genesee up there, so Joe probably has had them as well.
I think I've had the Bach beer. That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Genesee Bach, I think is what they call it.
Yeah. And Hans says, I want to do a hangout with you guys. Well, definitely. Well, this was actually one that we kind of put together, but you got here, I guess, a little bit later earlier. I was saying we were going to have some people come in if they wanted to join us and stuff, but we'll probably wrap it up here shortly. But next time we do a hangout, definitely, Hans, if you're there. I just have to get your email so I can send you the link and everything, because I don't post a link in the comments for various obvious reasons. But Eric Gilbert said the other half sniper, average Joe. Let me see. Billy says carbonation is similar to Miller Lite and Miller High Life. Genesee is only $12.98, 30-pack of 20-ounce cans. I bet 99% of people could not tell them apart. Maybe not. Maybe not. And he says Genesee is the only cream ale that's only true American style. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think if I had the cream ale. I don't know if I had. I may just heard Joe talk about it as much. I don't know if I ever tried their cream ale. I know there's a lot of breweries that do cream ales now, though.
Do you get Genesee there, Rod?
Yeah, we get it here. I mean, I can get the Genesee cream ale if I wanted to. We just had the Genesee Bach and some other ones. I mean, I just don't. It's Genesee. I just don't usually get Genesee.
You get it in Kentucky, or you gotta go to Ohio to get it?
Okay, I can get it in Kentucky and Ohio. So I get it at Jungle Gyms, and I can get it like in a Party Source or Party Town here. So like Genesee Ice, we actually can get in cans at Kroger, like the big pint can, or not actually like 25-ounce cans or whatever. But we can get like 12 packs of the cream ale at the store, and the Bach and those special type beers Genesee does. So,
gotcha.
If I was more of an adjunct type person, I probably would try it more, but it's just not anything to make me want to drive and pick up any Genesee type beers. And where was I at?
Kind of off topic real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I got the they have a 3-on-3 competition thing for the Final Four.
Okay.
And it's the conferences. I think they started it last year. These guys win $100,000. How's that okay?
In college?
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
It's a 3-on-3, the Colonial Conference. So they take each conference and they put a team in it. And the Colonial Conference actually won the whole thing. And the winner gets $100,000. So
does it actually go to the winner, not to school? Maybe.
Well, I don't know. They're sitting here. They're showing it now, and they're sitting here giving them $100,000, and the guys are throwing it around. And
what channel is it on?
It's on ESPNU right now. It's right at the very end. It just went off.
Oh, it did? Okay.
But yeah. I don't know. Do they get the money, or does it? Maybe like you said, does it go to the schools? But it's different schools. It's just one conference that puts a team in it.
I can't see it going to the kids because
I wouldn't think so. But they're throwing it around. Yeah, but they're throwing it around like it was their money.
Yeah, but it was probably like a mock. I'm hoping I'm thinking it's a mock celebration, but I don't see how you can get around NCAA rules.
Unless it's all seniors, and at that point it doesn't really matter. I don't know.
Or if it's intramural too, they probably got rules around that.
No, well that could be, but they're actually college players because the Big Ten team had a player from Indiana on it.
Even if they're seniors, they're representing that school and they're still under scholarship. I don't think they can take the money for it.
You wouldn't think, yeah. That's kind of what I'm wondering. NCAA is just ridiculous anyway. But
they're the biggest. They're the biggest or last and biggest legalized mafia we got now.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, sorry, I know I was off topic real quick there, but
no, it's all good. That's just it. It's interesting. Yeah.
If anybody knows out there what the deal is with that, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, just speaking of school stuff, I saw that the people that were caught up in a rigged up scam that were paying those money to the schools, apparently, like the 2 actresses that were involved or anything like that too, they're pretty much saying there's no plea deal without them doing jail time.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. Although it'd probably be like a plus type jail, and I think the most they can get is like 5 years or something. So
go to the Martha Stewart jail.
That's what I was just going to say, Eric.
Yeah.
Be a resort somewhere.
Knit some sweaters for a couple years or something. Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, Cody says it smells good. It's going to be a great summer beer. Billy says Genesee is owned by Seagram's and contract breweries for a ton of craft brewing, including Samuel Adams. And Gabriel says WWE YouTube channel is live in YouTube. Well, that's interesting.
That is
interesting. What if they're broadcasting live like during the matches or after the matches? Billy says wrestling is like rigged. I can't get a say about it. Well, it's not really rigged. It's actually it's rigged if you think of it already having the answers and everything like that. I mean, everybody knows it's fake, so it's already scripted out. Definitely. I mean, I guess could you wager on a wrestling match? I guess you could because you wouldn't know the answer. But yeah, even though it is rigged, yeah.
Come on, Rod. I guess you're going to say Santa Claus isn't real next.
No, he's real. Just the Easter Bunny. Right? So.
my night's ruined.
Oh, they just got people on it. They got like 8 people on a couch, and they're talking about the wrestling stuff.
Yeah, so they're giving the highlights from it then.
Yeah.
Let me see. It says Cody said he poured the yeast into a glass of his IPA this time for an experiment, and it really changes things. More of a bitter floral flavor. Yeah, depending on what kind of yeast you're actually using, it will shape the beer, of course.
Yeah.
And make sure you're using the right yeast for the right temperature for when you're fermenting as well, Cody. Gabriel says John Anilli and Ron Thoreau did a 5 things not beer about them. Yeah, I think they put ones up as well. There's been a few people that have done it, I know for sure. Billy said it, Cody, craft brewing. Companies have yeast strains that have taken on characteristics primarily the hops to a minor extent that of the malt. So, in my opinion, it's great to be in a few local head brewers. Let's see. Cody says, have an awesome time, guys. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that. And Billy says, head brewers, I can give you some of the least leftover yeast after they finish brewing. And Cody said he had thought about asking the brewery down the road for some yeast beer. I don't know if they would do it, though. Some will, some will not. But they throw out the stuff they don't use anywhere else, so it doesn't hurt to ask, Billy said. Yeah, I mean, if you can't get an answer if you don't ask. So, yeah.
Exactly.
And it goes as almost 60 degrees and going to be time to pitch the USO 5. I got to find a good Hefeweizen yeast. Any recommendations, brewers? And then we go back here. God, this freaking thing jumps around on the computer. Billy has said, I have to get ready for bed. I'm retired, but my wife has plans for me tomorrow. You never get rid of the honeydew list. So.
I was going to say.
Yikes, planted trees, vegetable flowers, weed, and Tuesday cut grass. Yikes, weed off, Wednesday off, Thursday cut trees, clean them more. So, yeah, you got your work cut out for you. Have a good one, Billy. And
take it easy, Billy.
Have a nice beer when you're done for sure. Thanks for hanging in there with us tonight. To Cody's thing, I was going to say, as far as I haven't done a Hefeweizen, but if you go on to a few of the websites, they can actually point out some different ones that might be some good yeast ones as well. Trying to think offhand what might be a good site. Let me see here. So Cody, I don't know if you used Brew Toad before. But that's why you can actually set your recipe up, and it'll actually point out stuff that can help you there as well. Homebrewtalk.com, great spot to also find out some of the yeast type things as well. Those were some sites I used when I was brewing before in the past.
Bell's actually does a lot of home brewing stuff too, so you can go to their website and check that out too.
Yeah, if you go, that's a good idea, Todd. So if you go to Bell's, or just like if you go to like a Mad Tree, with the ones that have their recipes on there, it'll tell you what yeast they actually use and pull up one of their Hefeweizens, and you'll be able to see for sure. Cody says, my girlfriend said that my beer definitely has alcohol in it. LMAO. I'm interested. What's your original gravity? Make sure you do your hydrometer reading, Cody, so you'll know later on what the final gravity is. That'll allow you to know the ABV. So Gabriel's like, great beer reviews at 28,000 and real beer at 26,000. Yeah, so those like two of the bigger ones out there. I'm trying to think what Joe D is at. Joe might be, let me take a look here. Joe might be in the teens, I believe. Pull his up here. I feel like my computer just goes slow whenever I'm doing Google Hangouts as well. It's like this computer was supposed to be faster, I believe, than it actually is.
Well, it always goes slower when you want it to be fast.
Right. Anybody else not want to go to work tomorrow?
Yes, 100 times, yes.
Make sure it's not just me having that feeling.
Tomorrow would be a good call-in day.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you call in on a Monday, at least
it's just gets worse.
In my job, it's always like worse because it's like, well, one is like an unplanned thing. Like you don't have any time ahead of time to give them a heads up. So then you get like a kind of a little bit of a mark of an unplanned type PTO, though, unless you get like a bunch of them. But then it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like people look at you differently and stuff.
Yeah.
Although I get to work from the house, so nobody have to look at me.
Mm-hmm. So are you really working then, or no?
Let's see, where's Joe? Yes. Oh, Joe had less than I thought. Joe has like 8,000 subscribers, and Joe's been doing it over 10 years. So, I mean, to grow and stuff. And there's been some comments where some people may have bought subscribers as well. They got the higher numbers. I don't know, but you definitely got to put the work into it to grow the channel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And Irv was saying you have to mix it up. We were talking about the conversation about that earlier. I'm going to jump down to some of these comments. Jay around 9,800. Special K's at 8,200. Well, Special K does some pretty good stuff. You would think he'd have more people subscribed as well. Sorry if I miss anybody's comments. He's going to try to get us caught up before we roll out of here. But well, you might be able to get him at a Meyer, Eric. He said he got the Oberon cookies at Meyer. I know you go. I know you go to Meyer, so I've got one here near me. I might have to check that out this week.
Yeah, I might have to do that too.
Like, where's your Oberon cookies?
Are they in the cookie section or are they in the beer section?
Oh, it could be either way, right? Well, your beer section might be cooler, so probably it's a cookie, but we don't want to underestimate.
Because I would think they would. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
Cody still has some. Yeah.
Would they sell better in the cookie section, or would they sell better in the beer section?
Well, if it was marijuana we're talking about, we would know where they would be. They would definitely be in the marijuana section. Eric Gilbert poured a Cameron's Cosmic Cream Ale earlier, Eric Gilbert said OHL is junior and IHL is semi-pro, which is what we have here with the Cyclones. And then go Gens, go Suns. Or go Gens, go Suns. Eric Gilbert said poured some Beam Rye too. Ha ha ha. So he is now drinking some whiskey. Mr. said, I would love to see you do beer blending. Have you ever done that? Tweak a few blends to improve the taste. You're saying about combining a couple beers like a cuvee? I've done it before. I haven't done any videos on here blending two beers together. Could be something to definitely take a look at for sure. I thought about doing the like a black and tan at one point to show how that actually gets made with like Guinness and maybe a Hefeweizen, but it's something that can be definitely looked at for sure. I appreciate that. And Cody says, almost time for bonfires. I don't know. Our bonfires, they usually do them like in the fall, but I guess you could do them around now too. People will be out around the fire pits for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Cody says, hope you guys hang around a bit. This has been fun. Well, we're going to hang around. We're not going to hang around much longer tonight, but as far as being around going forward, yeah, we'll definitely be around. Let me see here. He asked me, why did you quit brewing, Eric and Rod, and Todd, have you tried out brewing? I just stopped because of really, for me, it was time. Plus, I was getting such good deals on beer. The beers I were making, and if I wanted to keep making them or not, well, it was cool to make my own beer. I was pretty much kind of getting fancy on some of them, and then I'm like finding some other beers where I can get kind of on a cost basis. It was almost better to go ahead and do that by buying beer rather than making it, but I don't know about you, Eric.
For me, it was after that beer explosion. I was just done. I didn't want anything to do after that.
And Todd, you did brew, but why?
Yeah. I used to brew years ago, and then I did. My brother-in-law bought me some ingredients. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. So I brewed it last winter, I guess you would say, last fall or last spring of last year. That was the first time I brewed in probably 4 or 5 years at that point. So I haven't done any more since. But
well, you said it to us the last time you brewed, which actually wasn't bad. It was early on it, I think.
Yeah, it needed more time. Yeah, it definitely needed more time.
Clone that you had done.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And I don't know why I don't do it anymore. I kind of enjoy doing it. I just don't mess with it much anymore.
Cody said Frankenmuth has a great root beer, and then asked Eric how the Jim Beam Rye was. Cody says, call in and stay here, LMAO. Tasty stuff. Eric said back to Cody on the rye. Oh, he says they were in the bakery section, guys. So bakery section would be where you would see those. And
I would be interested in trying those.
Cody was asking Eric Gilbert what his favorite beer is. Eric has said, go Generals, go Suns, local OHL team, he's telling me. So, all right. I probably could play them on my EA NHL 19. They're probably on there. Cody says, I might try the Guinness Hefeweizen sometime. Yeah, there's the black and tan. You do the Guinness and the Hefeweizen. Put the Hefeweizen in first, about halfway. Let it settle for a second, and then put the Guinness on top. If you have a spoon, that's the best way to do. You pour it onto the spoon, and it separates. So this would be with the Guinness draft lager that you would want to use there. We actually had to teach one of the bartenders locally how to actually make that one time, which was fun. Got me back in my old bartender skill days.
Nice.
Eric Gilbert says what every beer drinker always says, tough question to answer, because it's hard to ask a beer drinker what their favorite beer is, because that can change at any time, and there's so many different things out there. It's more easier to say what kind of styles you enjoy the most of than what your favorite beer may be, I think. And Foamy Heads in the house. What's up, everyone? Just got off work having a Lagunitas IPA. Cheers. So Foamy Heads in the house. But yeah, so I just ran through all the comments. I was trying to get caught up, so if I missed anyone, I do apologize there. But digging all the feedback and you guys being involved and watching and hanging in there. And like 11:25 right now, so probably get ready to wind it down unless there's anything else you guys want to add for sure.
I'm going to be doing a couple of beer reviews this upcoming week. I don't know which ones we're going to do. I'm going to do one of Joe's last. He has one more other half beer that I'm going to do, and then I'm going to start getting into yours, Rod. I'm going to start getting into them a little bit more frequently. That way I can get them uploaded, at least to here, and then I can kind of put them out on the YouTube as I need to on for the Wednesday and Saturday night beer reviews. And you guys can always find me doing Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers, a little bit of Pistons, even though I really haven't started to get into that just yet. But you'll find Piston stuff on there and college basketball stuff. So other than that, that's pretty much it.
Nice. And then I haven't decided which ones I'm going to upload here, but Thursday night we'll have Beer Flow. That'll be at 9:15 Eastern. So for anybody that hadn't seen it before or would like to partake, just let us know. We'll be there doing that. And I think Joe may be back for that from talking to him previously. And then I haven't decided for next weekend, although I may put him up during the week as well. But I've got the Anchor Christmas Ale review finally edited, so I'll upload that. The Sierra Nevada Brute IPA, the Braxton Cranberry Goza that I sent you guys as well. Also got the Braxton Breeders' Cup, which I don't know if you put yours up already, Eric. I think Joe did on his channel.
Yeah, the Breeders' Cup I already got up.
Okay. And then a couple from Sonder, including basically one of their Zwickle beers, and then also their Tiramisu Stout. So those are some of the reviews I've got already set and edited. I've got other stuff on deck as well that I haven't gotten through yet. Like I got a few of the Ellison ones that you said, Eric. Those are all done. It's got to upload them. The Framingham Cordon Rouge, the Brandy Barrel beer from them. I've got the Blackjack Nuggets. I still got to upload that Todd sent. I'm just going through stuff. Even More Jesus from Evil Twin. Is that ready? Some more Evil Twins, Imperial Biscotti Break. Finally going to upload the Monsignor beers as well, including the Brandy Barrel. So a lot of good stuff there. I think right now in the backlog, we're probably about 55, 56 videos. So a lot of stuff to choose from that I'll actually have upcoming here. And whether I do them all, do some this next weekend, or if I might hit you guys with a barrage. So hopefully you guys don't think it'll be too much if you hit that notification bell and you're notified. If I hit you with a bunch coming through, just be aware because I got a good ton. I want to get out here at some point. And then Cody says he will be here Thursday at some point for sure. He says Tiramisu Stout is amazing. Yeah, they did a good job on the one that I'm going to upload from one of our new local breweries that they provided to me. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And as always, if you made it to this far, we definitely appreciate it. Always. So glad everybody had a good time. Always make sure you hit that like button if you like what you saw, and always love the comments, love the interaction. That makes it so much more fun even for us to even do these live streams. So I'm glad when you guys do some of the comments there. And then remember to hit subscribe if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, or hit that notification bell if you want to be alerted when we're doing stuff. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Eric before we get out of here.
Guys, if you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. It's stupid to drive home drunk, because if you do, you're going to get pulled over by the cops. They're going to make you do the stupid-ass sobriety test, and you get a free ride to jail, then court fees, and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you guys know you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is hurt your family and friends. Put yourself 6 feet under. Just sleep off your buzz. Get your car the next day. Get an Uber, taxi, a Lyft. Have someone just come get your ride, or have someone call a cab for you. Because it's in this day and age, it's thousands upon thousands of dollars in court costs. So just don't do it.
Yeah. So you don't want to put yourself in that position, and I've known quite a few people that have done that. So it's not.
And if
good.
I find out you're doing it,
it's not good.
And if I find out you're doing it, I'm coming with a baseball bat and taking your knees out.
You don't need your kneecaps anyway, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll make sure.
They're overrated.
You know what? No kneecaps, you can't touch the pedals. So there you go.
Exactly.
So it's for your own protection. So Last comments here. Eric Gilbert says Bobby Orr, Eric Lindros, John Tavers played for them, talking about the OHL team. And Foamy says, Cody, I'll drink anything, but I tend to drink more IPAs than anything else. And Eric Gilbert said, cheers, son. So thanks to everybody for partaking. And hopefully you had a happy National Beer Day and got to try some good beers out there. Look forward to catching you guys later in the week. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everyone.